She doesn't even go here.
I'm bi, actually.
Excuse me. Could the ugly, untalented gays please report to the principal's office?
Hi, I'm Kurt Homo, and I'll be auditioning for the role of kicker.
Hello! Welcome in, you guys. I am your host, Luke.
And I'm your other host, Alicia.
And today we have a super episode for you of Not So Straight Nerds. Today we are covering the new DCU movie, the first in this to-be-expanded universe.
Yeah.
It is Superman.
Superman 2025.
Yes, so
Yeah.
it's a whole new universe, sort of. But it's supposed to be, it's being labeled as the first. So
Yeah.
we'll talk into some of the specifics on that, how we feel about this movie.
Yeah.
I will say generally very, very positive. We both
Very
loved it.
positive. We're kind of right there with most of the audience that has seen it. So, yeah. And it just makes you feel really positive and hopeful. So, very fun
helpful.
time. Yeah.
But I think there's a lot to talk about with it.
Mhm.
This movie absolutely has enough to talk about already, but then it's the first of a lot to come. So we're going to look at the starting of this universe, this movie, and kind of our thoughts on where we think this is going to be heading into this new universe of the DCU, not the DCEU. Whoever labeled it that originally wanted that franchise to fail,
Yeah.
because that's crazy.
I don't even know. Thank goodness it's actually like maybe becoming a normal franchise.
Hopefully.
We'll see. Good start. Great
It definitely
start.
started strong.
Yeah, and it needed to. So
Absolutely.
to get anywhere else. So there you go.
But before we get too deep into this episode,
Vibe check.
gosh, vibe check.
Vibe check.
I'm feeling pretty good. I had a very
Yeah.
productive day,
Mhm.
doing productive things. What about you?
I'm the opposite. I've watched a lot of TV today. I
Ooh.
slept in really, well, slept is not the right word. I stayed in bed for a long time because Burley would not let me sleep in. My cat. He
Great
likes
reason.
to wake me up by biting my ears.
That's so crypto of him.
Even if I give him food and go right back to bed, he'll eat the food and then go up and start chewing on my ears again. So before you're like, it's because he's hungry, it's not.
King.
So, anyways, it's basically like, okay, you fed me, now let's play. Playtime. Anyways. But yeah, I watched a lot. I've been watching Interview with the Vampire, the TV show, since I just saw the movie not too long ago, a couple weeks ago probably, and really liked it. So, I've heard the TV show's really good. Even better than the movie because they actually like explore it. You know, they have more time to explore the book. Over 2 seasons, they explore the first book, and they're last I heard greenlit for the 3rd season, which covers the 2nd book. So
Okay.
there you go. 3rd season's not out, but I just started the 2nd season. I just finished the 1st episode, so
Cool.
very excited.
And we also started
Yeah.
Sandman season 2 today,
Yeah,
which I think has been
first 2
very
episodes of that.
exciting to start.
Yeah, very fun start. I fear.
You
Or
fear?
I feel. Okay.
Good television.
Well, I mean, honestly, it could be I fear because then it's like, ooh, what's gonna go wrong here? Lots of things could go wrong, but it's like such a good start. It's like, oh, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna be the cliffhanger, really?
Yep, because it is
I'm a
only the
little
first
scared.
half. I'm
Yeah.
curious to see how it goes.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Anyways,
Yeah.
back into Superman. So, we did, for context, recently watch all of the Superman movies.
Pretty much.
All of the ones that are like
Like
Superman is
main-
the main character.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, before we really started that,
Mm-hmm.
what was kind of your level of depth as far as Superman goes?
Honestly, not a whole lot. I watched Man of Steel as my first like Superman thing, so you can imagine that might be a wild adventure that I then took watching these movies because it's a wildly different character. I don't know, but I really like this version because I really liked Man of Steel when I saw it, but that I didn't have really any other context going into it about what Superman was supposed to be and what he was supposed to inspire. And I just knew he was a hugely iconic character. Like, even before I watched any of the movies, anytime I go to Six Flags, like, I have somewhere, probably still at my parents' house, like, the capes and stuff. I used to buy those at Six Flags with Superman, Supergirl, like, whatever, Batman, whatever symbols they had on the capes at the time. So, yeah, I've always, it's always been around. But then it was so fun watching that first Superman movie for the first time because it's so good. So good. And then getting to talk about it with my parents and, like, my whole family who also knew about that movie. And it's been fun. Like, that one at Independence Day, it's been fun to, like, talk about because they're like, oh, yeah, Bill Pullman and, like, da-da-da-da. Like, we know him and now you know his son. And so, yeah, it's kind of fun having those conversations.
Absolutely.
Keep going crazy.
And then we also have watched My Adventures with Superman, as that's been releasing.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the only
has also
show
been
we've
an
seen.
amazing show.
Mm-hmm. Because I want to watch Smallville at some point, but it's just long, and I have so many movies
Cole
to
loves
watch.
Smallville.
I know. I mean, I've heard it's
And
really
I've seen
good.
they have some, like, crazy character cameos in it, considering how far back and how low budget it is.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen they have Blue Beetle in there at some point.
Dang.
And it's like, wow, what does
Okay.
that look like?
What does that look like back then? So, anyways. And then I think they have the Superman and Lois show. Is that the CW one?
Yes.
Okay. So I've seen clips from that, but I've never seen any of that. So, and yeah, I don't know if I've heard much about it, positive or
I've
negative.
heard people really like it,
Okay. Sure.
but it's very CW. So if you like CW shows and Superman, it's your thing.
I mean, very hit or miss. I watched the Supergirl show, which is that CW? Or was
Yes.
that okay? I was thinking it was because I want to say they've been in a scene together at some point, maybe. I don't know. I watched at least half of the Supergirl show, if not a little bit more. I watched until that I always forget his name, but it's the love interest guy who also is superpowered, but he's like the son of like evil people and doesn't tell her that because he's not evil. So he's like, anyways. And then he like leaves for some reason and they're married in real life, but I don't think they like ever meet again in the show, or at least so I heard. So I stopped watching when he left. So
Interesting.
anyways, but it was fun. It was a fun time.
How did
So.
you feel about the Supergirl movie?
Oh,
Correct answer. Nowhere to go but up.
I thought look-wise, like, that's Supergirl. Perfect, like, look casting, suits, like, her hair was really pretty. Yeah.
And
And that's it.
the end of it.
And that's the end of the sentence. Period. So, there you go. Mm-hmm. Anyways.
So I think. So I saw Batman v Superman in theaters, and then every DC EU movie after that in theaters.
I think
But
me
this is
too.
the first time I've seen a Superman movie in
Okay.
theaters. Because I didn't see Man of Steel when it first came out. I ended up watching it the
I don't
first time
remember if I did.
I was like house sitting, and in the person whose house it was had Max, and that was the first time I'd ever seen Max. So I like caught up on all of the DC movies I'd never seen before,
Yeah.
including that one. So that
I-
was a ride.
Probably didn't see it in theaters because I would have been 11. But I do remember watching it quite a lot when I was a kid because my dad loved that movie.
Mhm.
Probably still does. So I don't know. Anyway, I do remember seeing Batman vs Superman in theaters though, for sure.
I was taken on a school field trip to see it.
Really?
Yeah, it was in like
Dang,
middle school.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, I really enjoyed it when I first watched it because I wasn't super critical of it.
Yeah.
And I know all of those characters, so it's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I know Doomsday. A lot of these people watching with me don't know who that is, but I know who that is.
Yeah, I know.
And you get to see Wonder Woman for the first time. There was a lot of firsts with that movie, so initial reaction was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Rewatching it, I get a lot of the criticisms, so valid. And then I
Yeah.
watched the extended cut of it, and I'm like, oh, this feels like almost a different movie.
Oh.
Because
okay.
it goes a lot. It goes a lot more into the depth of Lex setting up Superman
Okay.
and why that worked so well.
Yeah.
And I think that makes the context of everything work a scooch better.
I couldn't tell you. I haven't seen that movie like probably since it came out, because I just remember I didn't like it, and I didn't like that Superman lost. So,
Oh, well.
anyways, because I was a Superman girly when it came out, and now I really like both. So I really couldn't care less. But anyways, I also just think it's dumb that someone with technology would beat Superman, but it's
But
fine.
it's Batman with prep time. Arguably,
Eye roll.
no one can beat Batman if he has prep time.
Sure.
That is my
Mhm.
stance.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways.
Especially when your weakness is a green rock that he can have access to.
Well, yeah, I guess if you have access to that, then sure. But it's just silly. Just nobody wants to see. The girls are fighting. The girls are fighting. Anyways, I also just never liked Ben Affleck's Batman. So
Sure.
I think his suit
I
looks
think that's very
horrible.
valid.
Yeah. Anyways.
So on to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So what were your expectations before you saw it?
Personally, I feel like, as far as I can remember, very excited for this movie. And the trailers coming out, and each one just made me more excited. I liked the cast quite a lot. I liked James Gunn, like his past work for the most part. And I don't know, I was really excited for it. The only time I feel like critical about it was just when I was like, oh my god, James Gunn is in like all of this promotion material. But really, at the end of the day, I don't really care all that much. I just think it's kind of funny because you don't see it very often. But anyways, yeah. And I just kept getting excited for this movie. And then the reviews came out, and they were like overwhelmingly very positive. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm going into this movie with high expectations. This feels like Barbie, where I went in with like wild expectations and then it surpassed it. And that's such a great feeling, to be so incredibly excited for a movie and then it actually live up to that, maybe even a little bit more. So very, very fun. And then to see other people are really liking it. It's, doing well at the box office, and I don't know, just makes me very happy for it. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
anyways.
I will say I was worried it would be something that everyone else liked more than me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw comparisons to like the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. And
Yeah.
my hot take is I think there's only one really great movie in that trilogy.
Oh.
Um,
I mean, obviously the second one is really good. I like the first one a lot more than I feel like personally the first one's my favorite of the trilogy, which is my hot take. But yeah, I'm gonna totally sit down and admit that Spider-Man 3 is bad, like, any day.
yeah, and
So,
most people do. But,
Yeah. Anyways.
But I don't know. Seeing that comparison made me kind of be like,
Worried?
That's not a complete sell.
Okay.
It's not a complete pitch to me.
Okay.
In what I personally like. I think that means great things for, general audience.
Yeah.
'Cause that's almost the Spider-Man movie they remember.
Yeah.
But, and I don't know. And I think parts of the trailers either hit really big highs or lows for me.
Okay.
And I certainly wasn't sold on Lex Luthor's casting with Nicholas Hoult.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the thing I was most worried about going into this.
Okay.
I'd heard some people say that he was like their favorite part, so I was
Mhm.
very, very ready
Yeah.
to be convinced on it.
Yeah.
And I definitely was by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought
Yeah.
Superman looked really good. I thought Lois looked really good. I remember we had a conversation whenever I think it was the first full trailer dropped, and it had that
Mhm.
interview clip.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like, and everyone likes this clip, but I don't like it for whatever reason. For some reason,
That's still so wild
I don't
to
know.
me. I like
in the
adore
movie,
that
the
clip.
whole thing makes sense
Uh-huh.
because I think the build-up works a lot better. He just
Mm.
in the trailer for me, he blows up a scooch too quick.
Interesting. I
But
don't know, man.
but no, essentially everything really comes together in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was prepared to have a hot take. But
Okay.
alas, I've lost my hot take.
Mm-hmm.
It
Good.
cooled down.
Good.
It was a
Killed it, chopped it up, and
cold-ass
buried
take.
it.
So no,
Buried it
I
into the
super
ground.
super loved this movie, and then I went with
Mhm.
Cole, who loves Superman and he
Yeah.
loves dogs. So this
Yeah.
is like one of his favorite movies now.
Yeah, period. Honestly, Crypto is very fun in this movie. So
Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff in this movie.
yeah,
A lot of cool stuff, and a lot of real stuff.
yeah,
So I will say,
Period.
I was very surprised at how like timely this movie is.
yeah.
Because this is, I don't even know if timely is the right word, but it's like so where we're at in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost crazy that this movie wasn't made literally just within this year,
Mm-hmm.
because it's almost eerily relevant to everything that has been the year 2025.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I agree. Kind of crazy, but I'm glad they took that step, and it's a bold step, and I think they have enough of an out to where if like studios confront them about it, they could be like, "We just made a movie about defeating bad guys and being kind.
And
I
they have,
dare you to have
and
a
they
problem
go into
with that."
politics about it with fictional countries reflecting things that real countries are doing, and those are fictional things that have always happened in DC. Like Baravia is
Yeah.
just a country in DC lore that's always at war with its
Yeah,
neighbors.
so they can be like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Like-
What similarities are you admitting to right now?
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean? Are you admitting that there's a country that's clearly
Committing
doing something
genocide and
horrible?
trying to colonize on someone else's land?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wait,
what?
what?
What is that? What are
Which
you talking
country?
about?
Yeah, which country do you think's doing that?
No, it's a very
Ugh.
bold movie, and I love
Yeah.
to see a bold movie succeeding.
Yeah. Well, and I know people have been saying, "No, it's about like Russia and Ukraine."
No.
But I think it's very clear that it's not, because they go to like very big links to say like the U.S. is allies with Moravia, and they don't like, what was the place that they were attacking?
I can't remember, but it was. Let me see if I can find it.
But that's kind of the thing, and that's not Russia and Ukraine. So there you go. You don't have. I mean, whatever. They're very, very clear on what they're commenting on. So, period. And all the comments about immigration that came out like a few days before the premiere, like,
Baravia and Charanpur. Per.
I feel like that pronunciation
Right.
is off.
Well, to be fair, it's Middle Eastern, and you know,
I don't know.
their speech is very different from how we pronounce our words. Their pronunciation, rather. But
Wah, wah. Lorazepam.
Lorazepam.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
yeah. So, if we want to jump maybe right into our pros and cons list,
Sure. Do you want me to go first?
I would love for you to go first.
Okay, so I have a lot. I wrote this in my iPhone notes because I didn't want you to like look at our outline.
Right.
So, and then I copied and pasted. So we'll just go in order. I have a lot of pros and like one actual con. They're like nitpicky things, but one actual con, and it's not really that big of a deal even. Anyways, I love everyone's. Oh, I misspelled this. Anyways, love everyone's suits, even the Justice Gang. Like, you know, it's not necessarily like their suits. It's just kind of like their group suits. I mean, they look really similar.
Mhm.
I feel like I've seen people complain about them, but I don't really care all that much. I mean, yes, it's not like unique to their own personal character, but I think that's fine because they're going to get their time where they develop that. I trust that, so I'm not really bothered by it. Honestly, even as a group, not really bothered by it. I'm fine with the suits. I like you know, Mr. Terrific, like the design of like the mask thing that's on his
The
face,
T.
whatever. Yeah. His gloves, like his
T-spheres?
his vehicle.
Oh, the T-ship.
Yeah. The T-spheres as well. I like Hot Girl's little, I forgot what she calls it.
The mace.
The mace. Oh, I love it. And the helmet. I've seen a couple comments about people not liking the helmet. I love the
I
helmet.
love that helmet.
I think she's great. So, I also love in that scene where it's like sleeveless. I'm like, mommy? Anyways.
No, and then I can't believe you missed it. Mr. Terrific's jacket.
Oh, yeah. That's really
right
good.
out of the comics, and they made that look so cool. I cannot wait until that's in Hot Topic.
Oh my gosh. I actually like need to go there because I don't have any DC shirts, I fear. Yeah. Well,
Imagine.
they had a rough period, guys, when I was like when I was in my t-shirt era, which is still going on. It's been going on for a while, but
right.
yeah. Anyways, yeah, when I have money and a paycheck, we should go to Hot Topic and look for DC stuff.
Right.
And Box Lunch too. I feel like Box Lunch is gonna have some good stuff.
Oh, they're gonna have a really high quality version of that jacket at some point, and that's gonna be so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked Superman's suit. I don't really care that it has a lot of lines on it. Whatever. I think it fits the time now. So, there you go. It looks like it's made out of protective material, which is nice. And it is, because it gets, like, fire, and it doesn't get destroyed, which is fun.
And I like that I don't even think I know, like, I remember it was a huge debate about, like, whether the trunks look good or not.
I don't even notice
I didn't even notice it in this
No,
movie, so I
like-
think that shows how,
Yeah.
I don't know, non-consequential that is. At least to general audiences, because also everyone's liking this movie so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
I think that's all the people I can comment on their
Also,
costumes right
I
now.
want to say the Superman logo, whenever he's like flying back to, like, he's in a flying scene really early on in the movie, and it like goes into like the Superman logo card, and it like, comes right off of his chest.
Very cool.
Oh my gosh, that was the moment I was like, oh,
this is
yeah,
about to eat.
This is
yeah.
hitting.
Yeah.
I'm getting the good brain juice watching this right now.
Yeah.
That was a vibe.
Oh, speaking of kind of starting the movie, I want to address, because I know some people were like, I think they were saying, what was the other movie they were saying this about a while ago, where they're like, oh, Mission Impossible. They're like, get through the first 30 minutes and then like they're cooking, basically. I personally, and people are saying like the first 30 minutes, the first hour, whatever. I feel like I had a lot of fun with the first hour still. They did a lot of great stuff. But then they kind of get more serious into what they've been building towards, what they're trying to say, what they want you to think about when leaving this movie in the second half. And that's like what most movies do. So,
No, I
don't
honestly
think-
completely disagree with that, because even like honestly, the first shot really surprised me.
Yeah.
Because I guess maybe a tad, but not important spoiler. It like starts with a bunch of text with some kind of context, and I love. Not only did I really love that, but I really liked the way, like the structure they went about it. I thought that was really cool. And then it goes into a section that we had already seen before.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's not anything new. It still looks great. And there's a lot of things I really liked about that scene originally. And then it goes out of that into, the title card. And honestly, it goes into like one of the first fight scenes, and it's and I'm there for the whole thing.
Me too.
And then it like has this like clever reveal right after that. I was like, oh, this is eating. And it went into a character's theme that I really loved throughout this movie, and it was just like it was like serotonin boost after serotonin boost in that beginning for me. So I really couldn't disagree more with a lot of those people.
Yeah, I totally agree. I had a lot of fun, and I think there are still some pretty serious moments, and I don't know, it's just funny because I feel like those comments are just coming from like the short attention span people have nowadays, or like they want instant gratification, and that's not how movies work.
Correct.
It's also why so many people don't read books nowadays, because they can't sit down and read for 6 hours to finish a book. They can't even get through a 2-hour movie without being like, when is it going to get serious? When am I going to care? And I'm like, okay, it's 2 hours. Calm down. You're not on TikTok. But anyways, so maybe it's coming from that. I personally didn't have a problem with it. So don't know where those comments are coming from, but I wanted to address it because there are comments out there like that. So there you go. Just personal preference. I liked it. Something that starts really well off the bat, I think, is Clark and Lois. I think they have that scene, which you saw parts of with the interview, in certain trailers, but then you get it in the full context, and I think they're at Lois's place.
Yes.
Yeah, because then he leaves. Yeah. And then they do, like, the interview. That whole scene is really good, and just, like, getting an insight to their relationship. It's also just very fun because I think their actual first scene together was at the Daily Planet, where, like, because at first you're like, she definitely, like, knows who he is. But they're, like, playing this game where they don't. And he's like, yeah, I interviewed Superman. And she's like, you get a lot of interviews with Superman. And we find out later that she's, why she's teasing him about that. And I think that reveal is fun.
No, I
and
super love that.
I don't know.
I think it's really impressive what James Gunn did here with where the movie picks up.
Yeah.
Because honestly, even though... Because it's almost like right in the middle of a larger story... And even within a larger universe, like it leaves a fun amount of room on either sides of the start of this universe to do like prequel stuff here, and obviously there's a lot to do in the future. Yeah, which I think is super creative and very intentional for him. Yeah, and like even in the plot here, I was really surprised at where we started, and I was like, okay, cool. So are we gonna flash forward to that stuff? And it's like, nope. You just know that happened, and you get a lot of. Like, you get all the important bits from the context and the conversations that stem out of that. Yeah. And it almost avoids the repetitiveness of it, of, like, seeing him do it, and then people be like, oh my gosh, you know the consequences of this, right? Of this thing that you did. Yeah. And so it almost could have been too much if it's like, we see it, we get the initial reaction, and then it becomes a talking point about how crazy that thing was. And instead you just get the conversation of like what he did, why it's important, why it feeds into this larger story. I think that's so smart. Yeah. And they start, like kind of what you said, they start in an interesting place with Superman where they say he just lost his first battle. And that's when it kind of picks up with footage you've already seen before. But then they pretty quickly have this scene in Metropolis where he's fighting the guy he lost to already once, and we find out why, and they do some interesting stuff with Lex with that, and so that like right off the bat you're like, oh, they're cooking with Lex. Like I see what they're doing with the obsession, and I don't want to get too detailed, but yeah, it's very fun, and that kind of goes into my next point, Lex's obsession. And he's very aware of it, too, which I love that choice. That because he says, he basically, it's like, I know I'm crazy. I'm aware of that. I'm smart. I'm not dumb. Like, I'm not delusional. Like, I'm aware of what's happening, and I'm still a hater, basically. And he's very evil in this movie. Like, this is the most evil Lex has ever been. Yeah. And that's wild. Yeah. So, but it's done so well, and I feel like there's even a scene with, like, Crypto where it's, like, they are so close to that line of, like, going too far where it, like, just offends audiences, but I don't ever think it really crossed that. It just very clearly puts into place in several different areas, the links he'll go to when he's upset, when he's trying to get back at Superman. Because I know Grace was complaining about, I don't know the details because I haven't seen her spoiler video, but in the spoiler-free vague video, she was complaining about the treatment of women in this movie. And I've seen people bring up, like, Lex's treatment of his ex-girlfriends and his current girlfriend. And they're like, oh, that's just so gross to see. But I'm like, but this is coming from Lex. Like, he hurts animals. He hurts men, women. Like, it doesn't care. He's just an evil person. Well, and also, if I may build a little bit off of that. Yeah. With Lex specifically, I think Lex is almost a perfect encapsulation of a very real type of person. Yeah. And respectfully, you can look at, like, these types of people, these rich billionaire types, and look at how many of them have sexual harassment or worse kind of lawsuits filed against them, and look at how easily they get out of that. There is like inherent. You can't even say that that's too far because that is what these kinds of people are connected with. Yeah, and I think it's almost brave to not shy away from that. That someone who is this evil, there is going to be that piece tied into it because it's tying so much out of what today looks like.
Yeah. I totally agree. I don't think... I can't imagine being upset by it because he's just an evil person in general. Like, and they're showing how so many people like him in the real world are like that. And so it's a very real conversation, and it's never, ever, ever excusing the behavior at all. So, I don't know. Maybe just people want to complain. I don't know. They're fishing
sure
for
there's an
things.
element of it where people, I think especially right now, comic book movies are in at such a place where I think there's a certain population that want to see them have the final takedown. And so truly, Superman just is not the movie to do that. And I think people are just trying to find their ways to try and make it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. Anyways. Also with that, I don't think I wrote that down because there's nothing like pro about it. But I've also heard people saying that about Jimmy Olsen's character, and I don't. I think within the
disagree with Jimmy's character.
Well, within the context of the film, I don't think he's like treating someone horribly. Like he's in a situation that is sticky where there's like this girl who has really vital information, not only for Superman's sake, but basically for the world's sake, that he has the ability to get if he can like woo her or like make her think that, you know, he's still interested in her. And it's like, it's unfortunate, but it's like, I don't think it ever comes off as like he's being a jerk. Like he's doing this because he has to like save the world. And so it's just, I don't know. And the girl, like, people are saying, but the girl's like a model. Why is he acting like she's crazy? Because she's annoying.
Yeah.
She's insufferable. And they show that in the movie, and it's okay. Women can be insufferable. Like, that isn't, like, women don't actually act like that. Some do.
I know men who act like that.
Plenty of men are insufferable. Like, you can't just, like, look at a female character that's insufferable and be like, they're saying every female character ever is insufferable. I'm like, that's not at all what they're saying.
Especially when you have like Lois in this movie as well, who is such a strong female character.
Yeah. So I'm just like, okay. Like, it's just James Gunn not knowing how to write female characters. The same James Gunn who wrote who wrote Nebula and Gamora. I love both of them. That's crazy. I don't even know. I'm like, it's very intentional here, what they're doing, and it's not Jimmy Olsen being a jerk. It's supposed to be funny. Just have fun. It's not that serious, and it's not them saying it's a reflection of all women at all. So, anyways.
No, sure. Next up.
Also, the score and the visuals, great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the score is so good, and I knew it would be from the trailers. But I will say some of the visuals, especially in the first trailer, like with the color grading, I wasn't in love with it. But I feel like on the big screen, by the second trailer, it looked better. It looked like maybe they had taken that feedback, or maybe they were still working on the movie, and, you know, like, that makes sense too. And so they had some stuff they needed to fix, and kind of like the Fantastic Four trailer where they didn't show Reed's powers at first, but then they did. Like, they were probably still working on it. Like, give them patience, guys. They're still working on movies. It's okay. But in the context of the film, I feel like I don't think I was ever bothered. But even like the flying scenes in every single Superman movie ever have always looked goofy to me. And this one does not stand out in like a worse way. It's just it's an iconic Superman shot. It's like Star Wars like transitions. They're goofy, but it's like a staple, you know? So it doesn't really bother me at this point. So anyways, do you agree about that?
Yeah, I think the visuals all look great. I think the VFX never looked wonky at all to me. And they do some wonky stuff in this movie.
Yeah.
And it all, like, there's not a second where I'm like taken out of it because it looks bad. And I think some of the stuff could easily look bad.
Yeah.
And it
Me
doesn't.
too. I totally agree.
So, And then with the score, obviously the main
So
score is
good.
really great. I also want to shout out Lex's score.
Yeah.
Every single time they play that, I'm like, ooh. Oh, it's
Love
so
it.
good. And it gives him so much aura,
Yeah.
even when he's just, like, not doing anything. Ugh, it's so cool.
I mean, that's a lot of movies, you know? Like, a lot of the stuff that they're doing would look goofy without the context of the film, so... I mean, heck, all the behind-the-scenes stuff of, like, actors jumping for, like, a liftoff scene. Really funny. It's like, imagine if that was, like, the final cut. Aren't you glad it's not? Aren't you glad there's, like, movie magic that makes that look cool? Anyways. Ooh, I wanted to give a shout-out specifically to Mr. Terrific in this movie. He is terrific. He is great. He does have like a semi-short action scene. I mean, it's like
I wouldn't even call it all that short. It's an action scene.
yeah, like it's its own thing. It's more than Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl got. So, Guy Gardner kind of got some later on. Hawk Girl got a little bit, bits and pieces. She has this screech though. That's a later one, but a later. Actually, I don't know if I put that on my pros list, but I should have. Her screech is so cool. I think they called it like a death screech or something when she's about to like attack somebody. Really cool. I've seen people making fun of that. I don't understand that. I think it's kind of terrifying and awesome. So, anyways.
In any
but-
case, what do you expect from someone who's part hawk?
Yeah. Like, maybe you just don't like comic book films. Like, stop taking it, like, it not so seriously, but, like, have fun with it in the seriousness as well. Like, it is capable of being serious, but also just admit that things are cool and awesome. It doesn't have to be, like, quote-unquote normal or whatever. Like, she has wings. Let her screech. Let her screech. Anyways, Mr. Terrific is great.
Yeah, I think
Several times throughout this movie.
he's a really
But-
fun presence throughout this movie, and he brings
Yeah.
a really specific energy that's very like.
Yeah.
It's really funny because he like canonically is always the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and whenever he brings up how smart he is, it's typically like not like a flaunting way. It's just like, oh yeah, I can track this person because I put trackers in his bloodstream. It's like, you did that? Oh yeah, I do that to everyone. And it's like
yeah.
just
you know,
casually flaunting that he's always more prepared and smarter than
5 steps
everyone.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
He's so I
Yeah.
don't know. I think the writing on him was really smart because he never comes off as like superior to anyone else.
No, like it's very much just the way his brain works. So, yeah.
And his fears in his action scene I think is so fun, and that scene specifically is like the most James Gunn part of this
yeah.
whole movie.
Absolutely. Mhm.
It's very reminiscent of Yondu. Like specifically, I think that scene with him and Rocket in Volume 2. Whenever the arrows like flying all around the ship, and they're like walking out at the same time, it's giving that.
It's very cool. It's very like the best parts of James Gunn. You know, if you like some of his work and dislike others, like I don't think you have anything to worry about here. This is up there with his best work, I would say. Very, very fun, but also not like carbon copy of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's still very, very much its own thing, but you can see you could see the inspiration, you could see like where he's bringing that talent back in this equation. So, and it works. He's bringing it where it works. So,
Indeed.
yeah.
But also, I just wanted to say with Mr. Terrific, Edie
did.
Gathegi, I think is how you pronounce that.
He's
but he's
awesome.
great. Do you remember him from X-Men
Yeah,
First Class?
the guy who can't die and then died like 5 minutes later.
Craziness.
He's also in Twilight.
Yes, he is.
He's that
I remember
vampire.
us being gagged when we found out that was him. I was like,
Yeah.
"What? He looks so cool."
Yeah.
But
So-
no, I think he's very talented and very charming.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have called for him to get his own project, and
Yeah.
at this point, I think it's almost earned.
Absolutely. So, very, very fun. That would be such a fun TV show, movie. I don't care. I mean, I guess I would prefer TV show just because I want the most content possible. But whatever. Whatever they want to do, I'll be seated. So, at home or in the theater. Who cares? We'll see. I did write down or type up Hawk Girl Screech and Weapon. So, Shout out to her. Love her.
Isabella Merced. She
Yes.
really eats that role.
She does. She does. Apparently, I saw a tweet where somebody was like, somebody in my theater yelled, "That's Tina!" So,
Oh, that's some pretty goated behavior.
yeah, and I don't always like commentary in theaters, but I don't know, there's a time and place, and I feel like that would have been fun. Like, there was this lady behind me that was really annoying most of the movie with her commentary, but one line she really ate was a kissing scene between Superman and Lois that was pretty steamy, pretty romantic, and she was like, she turned to her husband, "Oh, I like this guy." And I was like, oh, she ate that up.
No,
She ate that up.
In ours, there's a family behind us. And let me tell you guys, apparently, Crypto is a lot like their dog, Toby. I was worried Cole...
Not that
or-
you know his name. Oh,
well,
my
because
God.
that's what I was worried that me and Cole would do when we went into the movie. I was
Mhm.
worried it would be like that's like her
Dipper
dog, Mabel.
or- yeah, Mabel
I was scared
or
he would do
whatever.
that, but they did that almost every Crypto scene.
Dang.
And I remember it.
Yeah, no, that the lady behind me, because we went to 2 different showings. The lady behind me kept going like, "Bad dog, bad dog,"
That's
and then
so weird.
yeah, and then later on, Crypto does something good with his badness or like controlled badness, whatever. And she's like, "Oh, good dog, good dog." And I'm like, "He can't hear you. Shut up." Oh my gosh.
No, so far the best time something like that has happened
Yeah.
for me in a theater
Mhm.
was when I was watching Civil War, and I was on a Disney Cruise Line when I was
Mhm.
watching it. It wasn't the first time.
Iconic.
But it was the scene where Steve kisses,
Ew.
her
Sharon Carter.
Sharon,
Yeah.
for the first time, and some woman from the audience yells, "It's about damn time!"
Damn. Okay. Glad she liked it.
But that's the funniest one that I've
That
had
would
yet.
be kind of funny though. Even if I was grossed out, that would just be kind of funny. So,
Can't talk about that one yet.
nope.
But on that point, I think it's important to say there are definitely some spoilers for this movie, and there are some
Yeah.
very exciting twists in this movie that definitely weren't to be seen in theaters. So
yeah.
this is not a movie I'd wait all that long to see if you
Mm-mm.
haven't already.
Grace already, you know how in her thumbnails she'll put like pictures and then she'll put words too.
Mhm.
She put this spoiler in her spoiler review.
Wild.
I'm like, Grace. Now, okay, in the tweet that she posted with the link for it, when you just see the link and you don't see like the thumbnail preview picture, it doesn't have it. It's just the link, and she doesn't say that in her tweet. But then if you view the the tweet in its fullest and you see the preview picture, it's on there. And I'm like, Grace. And that was like Friday. I was like, Grace, you can't do that. Why would you do that? So I've seen Zoe Rose Bryant, shout out to Queen. I'm pretty sure she posted about it too. And I was like, or something way more subtle, not the actual word, but I think it was a quote. It was a quote.
I think I
Mhm.
know what quote it is.
Yeah, which
That's
was
funny.
really funny. So like people, that's not a spoiler because people wouldn't know
Mhm.
necessarily, but they might get a hint. So I was like, guys, but that was today, so it's okay. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. But yeah, it's definitely out there on the internet, so be careful. I've seen TikToks, and so there you go.
A lot of stuff we can't get super
Can't
deep into.
say that. I liked his Earth parents. They were really funny. They were giving like they were giving farmers that didn't know how to use technology. Like I know you had a concern that they were too old, and I think other people have brought that up as well.
Well, they're just very different approaches from all of the other previous
Very,
ones.
yes, very. But I liked it. You know, it was refreshing. It was different, and I think that's, you know, these other versions still stand on their own because they have differences. Like Man of Steel, I still like Man of Steel. It's very, very different tonally, and they make some. His parents in that movie wildly different.
Vanessa.
Oh yeah, no.
No.
His Earth parents, just with like I know like it's controversial that his dad wants him to keep the secret so bad he'll
That
like die
he's
for
willing
it.
to die for it.
I know that's controversial, but you know what? At least it's a different take, and so you get something new every time you watch different versions. So
Sure.
whether or not you like that version, that's up to you and your personal preference. But
Man, I
I'm
don't
not
know.
bothered by it as much as other people. But
I will say people want to hate on that scene of Jonathan Kent dying.
yeah,
In the first one, it's like, you got to make sure you be the type of man that, like, the world needs Clark.
yeah.
Come on, let's go to the barn. Oh, heart attack. And it's just like, okay, that was convenient timing.
I don't know, man. So, yeah,
Wow.
I didn't mind that scene all that much. I mean, because I think at the end of the day, the point is, like, that's what he believed. That's not necessarily, like, the thing he should have done or, like, needed to, because that's subjective. So it was his belief that he would rather die than people know before they have to. And so that makes it important when he's ready to reveal himself as a Superman to the world. And so I don't know, I can see why people dislike it, but I don't see why people are so crazy hatred about it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think that's silly.
Honestly, I strongly disagree with that point, because I think, especially in context, the idea
Mm-hmm.
of, like, wanting your kid to have a normal life, and, like, that's the whole point of why Superman isn't Zod or any of these other evil super people, is that he was
Mhm.
allowed to, like, live a normal life with
Mhm.
normal parents and have,
Yeah.
like, normal values put into him.
Yeah. The only thing I can see, like, people, where I feel like people kind of have a point, is I did get frustrated when Clark saves, like, a bus full of kids, and then that's complicated, and he's like, should I just let him die? And he's like, maybe. I think that's shitty, because, like, then he grows up and, like, isn't supposed to think like that at all. But if that's how he was raised, that can be complicated.
No, I'll agree to that line. I think that's played more into, like, because I think right
Mm-hmm.
after that, he goes into the, we don't know what we're doing. You were an alien that landed in our thing.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yeah.
we're just trying our best.
Just
I
trying to
do
do his
think
best.
that movie doesn't show a lot of the do good stuff, Clark.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
Ma and Pa are supposed to instow into Clark at a young age that makes him Superman in the long run.
Yeah.
It just kind of shows them trying to make sure that he's normal.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that is important to Superman's character. And
Yeah.
even though they, like, still show, like, I love the line that's like, the only way you can disappear is if you stop helping people. And I get the
Mhm.
impression that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I love that line
Mhm.
because that ultimately is very true to Superman. I think Man of Steel
Very
just
true.
loses a lot of the Clark Kent part of that, where it's
Yeah.
like, where did he get this from?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. This stinky little guy.
And this movie puts in the work, even though we don't see it.
Mhm.
You feel that
You
it's
very much
all
feel
very
it.
much
And
there.
his parents are very different from that. That's why I want to stress, like, if you didn't like Man of Steel, like, you don't have to worry about that here. If you didn't care, you'll like what happens here. Like, don't worry about it. They're very different, a very different take on Ma and Pa, but I think it's very fun.
Yeah.
So, they're
And
very,
ultimately,
like,
I was worried I wouldn't like them, and I
Mhm.
love them. I think
Yeah.
they're a really great choice.
Mhm.
So
and the dad had a really, really good line for Clark. So, yeah.
yeah,
Anyway, I can't
Absolutely.
talk about it because it's a spoiler, but we'll talk about it later. Okay. Love Crypto. I think he was really funny. I know people were complaining, like, the first clip we got of him, they were like, dogs don't act like that. And I'm like, then you
I
don't
have two that act
have
like
a dog.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Then you're lucky, because a lot of dogs act like that, especially big dogs that think they're small dogs, aka Crypto
Mine.
being a superpowered dog but acting like just any other dog. I mean, that's what's funny about it, is like, that's so realistic. So I thought it was funny. I thought he was great in this movie. He has a sweet scene later on, like when he's with his parents. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I
Now,
don't know. He's
Crypto
very
was a
cute.
great addition here, and honestly,
Yeah.
such a smart move from Gunn.
Yeah.
I saw like tweets saying that, like, man, I did not think I was gonna get this attached to a CGI dog, And I
That's
literally rolled my
crazy.
eyes at that because it's like, it's James Gunn. He made
Of
people fall in
course
love
you
with a
will.
raccoon.
Well, and you had
And a tree!
yeah, and you had Cosmo. Like Cosmo's
Yeah.
great.
So, ultimately...
Kind of
I'm
crazy
s-
to say
like,
that.
It's almost... I don't know. I find that kind of annoying because it's like, what did you expect? He's done this, like,
Yeah.
for, like, 8 movies now. Bless you.
Anyways, can't talk about that. The romance. Oh my gosh.
Can you believe that Superman and
Listen.
Green Lantern kissed? JK.
So don't you mean Lex? Lex was 2 months pregnant with Superman's baby. That's why he was so angry in this film. He was having mood swings.
No, you don't. Okay.
He's like, "You're not my type," and I'm like, "I'm pretty sure he is, actually."
And I love the way he says that because it's not like because he says, "I'm not into tall, dark, and Martian."
Mutant or Martian, yeah.
Love that.
Mhm.
And there's another element about that I really want to get into, but we'll get into in the spoiler talk because it's so. There's an element
It's really funny.
of a show with these characters in it where there's definitely interesting elements that tie into this movie, and it feels almost pulled right out of that of them almost having a chemistry between, not even almost, there's definitely like a chemistry between them.
Absolutely.
It's like there's that fine line between love and hate, and it is
There you go.
ugh, it's
It's
fine.
there. But I wrote down for the Clark and Lois chemistry or Superman Lois, whatever you want to say, all the
Clois.
above. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm trying to think of one with like low man or something, like the Superman and Lois combination.
Luis Man.
Louise, man. Their chemistry was so good. Like that first scene in the kitchen, that's when the lady was like, "Oh, I like this guy." I mean, it was like great. And then the conversation where, and this scene was in the trailer, so I can set like the visual context of the scene. It was the one where he's suited up and she's talking to him, and outside the window there's like the glowy monster thing. And everyone's like, "Why isn't he out fighting it?"
I think that was
a
so
reason.
funny in the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is actually genius.
Yeah. But I thought that was great. I thought that just completely captured what their dynamic is, and it's perfect. I love that scene.
No, I'm gonna say I'm gonna stand on this. I think this is the strongest Clois I've ever seen.
Oh yeah. Well, because my only complaint with the first movie is it's like, wow, these questions that they're having her ask, like these writers are so sexist, like so incredibly
Having
sexist.
this Pulitzer Prize winner not know how to spell basic words.
Or like, what's the color of my underwear?
Mm-hmm.
Shut the fuck up, honestly. But I was texting later and I was like, these questions suck so bad, but their chemistry's off the charts. And that's like, the chemistry is here and it's not sexist. And she's actually a good reporter and an actual, like, well-written female character. Kind of crazy concept. But it just makes the romance better when you have two different competent people that love each other and that you love them individually and their relationship. I think that's so great. So it's very, very fun to watch. Very excited to
And
it's,
I really
it's
like
giving like my adventures of Superman. Like their dynamic is really
Yes.
good in that show. So
And I'll also say I really like Lois's presence here
yeah.
because ultimately they're fighting the same battle, but they approach it in very different ways.
Yes.
And I think that works really well here.
Yeah. And it really shows the links that they'll go to like help each other. Trying to be vague. But I just thought that was so great. Such a clever way to keep her presence in scenes that, you wouldn't necessarily think you'd see her in. But, I mean, she gets, like, down and dirty and, like, risks herself for Superman, for Clark. So, very, very sweet. So, very, very excited to see more of them. And then, yeah, kind of what you mentioned earlier, the very bold political commentary. We desperately need it right now. I think some people are trying to ignore it not get the point or miss the point, but it's definitely hitting its mark with some people because there are plenty of news outlets and people posting, oh, this movie sucked, or like, yeah, I
Super
can't believe they're
woke.
talking about this. Like, he's not an immigrant, he's an alien. And I'm like, say that again. Say that again. Because that's like a word you use, y'all use to call immigrants human beings. You call them that. So maybe let's repeat your sentence, and maybe you're so close to the point, but you're not quite there. And I'm sure it's intentional at this point, but
Sure.
maybe not. Maybe they're just so incredibly
I mean,
dumb.
the loudest voices know it's not true, and then
Mhm.
the people who have less stakes in it just kind of follow it.
Yeah.
I would say out of like patterns.
Yeah. Well, and I love at a certain point, Superman has a speech about what it means to be human, and he basically just says like, yeah, I'm not from here, but I do this and I feel this, and that makes you human. And I just think that's really great because I don't know. I feel like people need to hear that more. That just because you aren't from here doesn't mean you're not a human being. So, and shouldn't be treated like one. So, I think people need to hear that more.
Sure.
So there you go. Anyways,
Absolutely. So, any last minute or pros to add?
I mean, I don't think so. Like, I just like the whole movie. Like, Jimmy Olsen is great. Eve is great. Kat was fun. We barely got her, but she was fun. I personally liked the engineer well enough.
Oh, I really like the engineer.
Yeah, like I thought her powers were really cool, and she does something to Superman later that I'm like, oh my god, this is so gross, but I love it. I think. Oh my gosh, there's people yelling out there. Anyways, I don't know where they are. Are they in my backyard? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, just everything. I liked everything. My only con, and I'll just say that because it's only one, is I just want more Clark. But we still got Clark. It's not like Man of Steel almost had like no Clark, except, well, at least as an adult.
Well, we didn't see him as the reporter, which is like
Yeah.
what Clark Kent persona is.
Yeah, because he doesn't become that until the end of the movie. Here you definitely see parts of that, but I want more Clark. It's like with the Batman, one of my only cons is I just want more Bruce Wayne. I got some, but I want more. But anyways,
Yeah.
because I think it's good, so I want to see more of it.
Absolutely.
But anyways,
So my pros, the casting. The casting here, super
so
strong.
good. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, all around, I don't think there's a single person that I would have like recast.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
very
totally
especially,
agree.
and that's also a very bold thing because I don't think I would have taken that stance before I saw the movie. But everyone definitely personifies their character really well.
Yeah. And you know, even though, like, I know people complain that, and I'm going to be vague here, you don't have to worry.
Hi there.
I know people complain that James Gunn uses his friends in his projects, but I feel like overall, they're usually used really well. Like, I was looking at the cast earlier, and some of the robot voices are
A lot of Guardians there.
Guardians. Like, Mantis was one
Mantis,
of the...
Yondu.
Yeah, and Yondu. So, I don't know. That's all I can say.
Sure.
For now. So,
Fair. The casting was great, and I'm gonna say, like, specifically, Superman, Lois, and Jimmy. That is some like phenomenal casting.
yeah,
Like
that's crazy.
that's I would say like RDJ level casting, which is
just
great because that's what you
perfect.
need so early on.
Yes, yeah.
So such a strong credit to whoever ultimately made those choices. Hi there. freak.
What are you
Smell my
doing?
deodorant.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Being a creep. I put Clark and Lois's chemistry. Like I said,
Mhm.
it's my favorite Lois yet.
Very, very good.
And then I was surprised at how much I like the Justice Gang. It's,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it's like almost similar to the Guardians of the
Question.
Galaxy, but it still feels like its own thing. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it really works, and they have some really funny bits.
Mhm.
Yes.
Question. Are they is there an actual Justice King like in the comics versus Justice League, or is that just a tease to like later on the group be called? That would be
The
really
Hall of
funny.
Justice is the Justice League. That's where the Justice
Okay.
League go. So
Okay.
eventually, they're going to become the
Okay.
Justice League.
I feel like it'd be really funny if later on you have your Justice League and those three are not, or like specifically Guy Gardner, he's not in it, and then I could see him being so pissed. They're like, oh, you just one word and suddenly you like it and it's cool, and like, oh my god, I could so see that scene and I would crack up.
Yeah. It's very
I would love to
interesting.
see that.
I think all of these three characters are members of the Justice League. The Justice League is a very long roster.
Okay.
It's a thing where it's like they just kind of come and go, and there's the big hitters that everyone knows.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Sure.
I think a lot of our modern day Justice League adaptations come from the animated show of the
Yeah.
Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
And that one has Hawkgirl as a main character throughout that series. So
Her? Okay.
Hawkgirl is a pretty important member to the Justice League.
Yeah. I could just see it being like, we're just more than a gang. We're like an entire league. And then they're like, say that again. Say what you want about the 2015 Fantastic Four, but he ate that
meme.
up. It was so funny.
Oh, James Teller. You've done
Oh
so
my
dirty.
god. Miles Teller.
Right.
He was not Mr. Fantastic, but he was really funny in that scene. Say that again. I mean, like that meme's everywhere, so people still use that till this day.
Absolutely. As they should. Green Lantern. He grew on me. I really liked him at the end. I was worried I would find him obnoxious, but he's just like the perfect amount of obnoxious.
Yeah. I agree. I think it really like solidifies it when a certain character, when he's like mad that nobody likes his name, and then a certain character's, he's like, you can't join, and then they're like, oh, I love that name, and they're like, you're in. I think that like completely solidifies it for me that he's great.
Mm-hmm. Hawkgirl, Isabella Merced, is on a high right now, and I think this is just building her momentum.
She
so I hope
deserves
that
it.
grows.
Yeah.
And
me
I certainly
too.
hope we get to see more Hawkgirl eventually. I hope
her.
soon. I don't know what. I mean, I know a project
Well,
she's going to show up again because she's in the trailer
Peacemaker.
for Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling she won't. That whole gang won't spend a long
Not
time
a lot.
there. But.
Probably not. But.
And then Mr. Terrific, so great, has one of the best action scenes in it, and it's so fun. So I think he is the most likely to get a spinoff off of this.
Probably my second favorite. My first favorite, I can't even say where they are. It's okay, this was in the trailer. When Superman is in that little cube thing, that area. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I loved that whole sequence. I thought that was great. That was probably my favorite just because visually it was stunning. It's so creative. But that one would be a close second.
Absolutely. And then I put the action. I think they do a lot of interesting stuff, especially with like Superman's powers and how he uses them. He's such an old character at this point, but I feel like they really went through the work to make sure he feels fresh.
Yeah.
All the other characters feel like they have a very unique fighting style.
Yeah.
And it's they do some really clever stuff here.
Very fun.
And how they like shoot everything, the camera work all feels super cool as well.
Yeah.
Oh, they just do such fun stuff here.
Very fun.
And then I put Lex and Friends. Something I was not super expecting was that Lex has a team of very young and impressionable people helping him out, which, you know, is very reflective of another high-ranking billionaire that we all know that has a good handful of youth working for him in very technical aspects. And it's so crazy that, like, with Lex specifically, I almost feel like if it came out a year ago, I would be like, this feels very on the nose. But it's so
it's
real.
like it's again like people used to say the boys were too much, and now they're like, oh, I regret saying that because actually they were just too early of their time. Like now it's unfortunately perfect. A perfect whatever you call it, representation of what's happening essentially.
And and almost specifically with Lex and his team, it almost, and I'm gonna say this with my chest, he's very inspired from the boys. It's it's very interesting to see him take back DC take back the inspiration that the boys took and like do their own spin on it.
Yeah.
With like Lex and his company and do something really clever and unique with it that's different from, the boys, which took it from DC originally. So I think it's really cool to see ideas kind of change
Bounce
and
back
grow
off.
and kind of go back and forth like that. I think it's really cool to see that inspiration.
Yeah, I just think that's really cool when you have multiple great like superhero shows, type shows like Invincible and The Boys, and then you have of course your big franchises DC and Marvel. I think when they're all doing well, there's a healthy competition there that motivates the others to put out great work. So, and I think at the end of the day, that's what you want. So, why wouldn't have one really good movie when you could have like multiple great movies and shows and all these different content things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know.
We already said Lex is the most evil he's ever been. He also, I love learning more about what his plan is.
Yeah.
Because that is it. Like it's even though it's like the most fresh and most modern Lex.
Yeah.
Like ultimately, his plan is still so reminiscent of the original like movie version.
Yeah.
And it's so great. He even has his own Otis, which I think is such a small detail that I think is really overmissed. But on his team, he has an Otis like the main henchman from the first Superman movie. Mm-hmm. And I think that is, I don't know. That's one of those clever nods that I'm so glad I caught.
Mm-hmm.
Obsession, I think they played with Obsession really well here.
It's hard to not get into spoilers with that, but they do some really great stuff with that, for sure. Yeah,
and then there's another element that is a spoiler, but I really love the talk about, does Lex think there's an issue with too much power being out in the universe? Mm-hmm. Or is it just power that he can't control?
Yeah.
And there's a specific thing they do that really highlights the ability where it's like, these people, they don't care that people are doing stuff that they're condemning. They're caring that they're not the ones doing it.
Yeah, and that they're not getting attention for it. So it's like they want to be worshipped like Superman is worshipped, essentially.
Yes, essentially.
But Superman actually earned that because he's nice and saves and helps people. And you don't. So it's almost as if like you have the power to do what they do in your own ways. You're a billionaire. You have the resources to do awesome things. People would love you if you go out and do good things. But you'd rather like tear down other good people, and then then people hate you. You have attention, but then people hate you. Yeah. So what then?
I put Crypto. I think he's so fun. I think he doesn't get old, and he is so fun to watch in every single scene that he's in.
Yeah.
I mean, what a rascal. Mm-hmm. I also like that he's not a well-behaved dog. I think that's such a really good
funny
choice.
Yeah, for multiple reasons. So
the visuals I thought were great. They have some really great themes on parenting.
Yeah.
Which I think ultimately ties into a lot of the other themes, because it is it covers some very high topic political conversations that are being had right now.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that it's like, hey, your parents aren't supposed to tell you what you believe. They're supposed to give you the tools to figure out what you believe. And I think that's, just correct.
Yeah. And with that, I think the only thing that might put people off, which I think is a shame, because wouldn't you want a more nuanced conversation, but is they do something with his Kryptonian parents that I think is different and interesting. It's
for movies.
Yeah. But I really liked the choice. I was sitting there and I was like, I know people are going to be mad about this, but I love this choice. Because it just brings up such an interesting conversation. So, yeah.
Then I also put the engineer. I really like the engineer here. As soon as I saw her doing, in the trailer, she does the thing where she, in the she's like in the Fortress of Solitude. And she does
Yeah.
the thing where her hands turn into saw blades.
Yeah.
Loved that as soon as I saw it.
She has this scene where she almost does like a front flip, but she just like changes her body so then she's facing the right way or something. So cool. Oh my
cool.
gosh.
No, she does such interesting stuff with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, I don't know, it's almost really relieving to know that she's supposed to show up again in a future project.
Yeah.
So that I think is very exciting. This
Mhm.
actress made a really great first impression. And
Yeah.
it's like
I agree.
equal parts her performance, I think, and then also just the effects work on her
Yeah.
character. It all works together really well.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And then also, it's very anti-genocide. And, unfortunately, that is
Not as popular
That
of an
is-
opinion that it should be.
taken as a hot take too easily.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that should not be a controversial take, and it is way too controversial right now, so...
But they just go so far with it, and I think unfortunately so many people are ignorant to what that means, what that word means, that they just want to brush it off because they don't want to believe it. But the movie does not hold back on it at all. They very much there's this scene where this soldier points a gun at a child, and it's you need to see that because you need to know that happens. And even though that turns out nothing bad happens to that kid in the
on
film,
screen, yeah.
very much happens and has happened in real life, and you
Is
need
happening in
to-
real life.
Yeah, you need to know that, and you need to acknowledge that because that's what that word means. It's not just numbers of people. It's actual human beings. It's babies. It's old people. It's women. It's children. It's men. Everybody. So that's, yeah. And it's not just war between two countries. That's not what it is. So it's just a total annihilation. So of a group of people. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very glad that they did not hold back on that. And that's the scene where I was like, oh my God, in the theater. I don't know. It's a lot to see that, but right now for the timing, I'm so glad that they went there.
Mm-hmm. It's very
So,
important.
Yes. Yeah.
And then right off of that, they cover that Superman is an immigrant and what that means.
Yeah.
I really love My Adventures with Superman because it almost mixes what this movie is doing with Superman and what Man of Steel was doing with Superman.
Yeah.
And the idea that, yes, Clark is grounded. Clark has connections with so many people, and he's a very human and a very flawed, goofy and clumsy character. And Superman is this outsider, and he's super powerful, and everyone's scared of what he can do.
Yeah.
And, regardless of the fact that he is still the well-intentioned Clark, there's almost this, it almost feels similar to almost queer storytelling in the fact that it's I can't tell people what I am because they won't understand what I am and they'll be scared of me.
Yeah.
And they won't accept me and I won't have my own community. And I really love in the latest season where he's I need to find my people, and he reaches out and ultimately gets his cousin.
Yeah.
I've super loved My Adventures with Superman plunging into that aspect of him, standing alone but being misunderstood in that.
Yeah.
This one, it builds off of that really well, I think.
Yeah. I think also with that, since you compared it to queer stories, it's the conversations where people are bringing up the 10 trans people in sports somehow ruining sports. Eye roll for those who are not watching. It's what happens in the film is he can do a million good things, but then the second someone even utters the words it's all a lie, it's they're so quick to believe that. And I hope people don't think that's an exaggeration or too far, too on the nose, because it's not, because that's how people are behaving in real life.
Absolutely how
It's
the public reacts.
It's oh my gosh, you're wasting so much time and energy. One, on people who are not the problem, and two, they're 1%, less than 1% of the population. So it's like not what you should be spending your time and energy on. Like, leave him alone.
No, it's that and Across the
crazy.
Spider-Verse, which have done really interesting stuff that I think is comparable to queer storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And I just find that so fascinating with, like, alter egos.
Yeah.
And this movie adds to that and adds the immigrant idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like, I would imagine it's similar to, like, being, like, white passing,
Mm-hmm.
or, like, passing in, like, a race context, where it's, like, you know, you hear people, and it's his job to, like, interview and see how people feel about Superman, and they don't realize that they're talking to him.
Yeah.
I think that's a really fascinating way to kind of approach both characters and him getting, you know, having to deal with #super shit.
That was so... I love those posts that are like, whatever movie or TV show out of context, and like the 4 photos that they do. Because I've seen some of those with like the super shit thing. It's really funny. Yeah. Anyways.
And then also I really love the theme is hope and inspiration and why that's important. I think that's like the overarching thing of this whole movie, and man, it got me feeling things. So
Very inspirational, very hopeful.
yeah,
so.
it's a great starting note to build off of. So
Again, it's like Barbie. I'm like, man, this makes me feel so hopeful as a woman. And then the real world happens. So then you're like, well, shit. Okay, I'll just keep watching this movie. Anyways.
And then there's so many twists and surprises to this movie, and it's so good. It's so good. I think every twist worked for me really well.
Yeah.
I know you said that there was one that took you a second.
It's just because I didn't know that was
What
like
it was.
what it was.
Yeah.
It was more that I was gagged and I was like hoping it would be a different person, but then they showed up anyway, so it was fine. Let's just put it that way.
Well put.
Anyways.
But yeah. So, and that's why I'm very glad I didn't have anything spoiled for me, because everything in the movie when it was revealed worked so well.
Yeah.
The cons I had, towards the end, there's that speech about him being a human.
I was kind of like, okay, this is like
There's corny.
almost eating. It's a little corny though.
It's, I don't know, and he's such a corny character, but it almost feels like
It almost feels like
not
preachy. That's not the right word, but it's like
shouldn't there be things you have to still do at this point, Superman? And
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's kind of funny. I thought that with Lex too. Like I think he has a thing, and I'm like,
I know you said at the beginning. I think I know which one you're talking about, but I think I disagree, and I think he eats. If we're talking about the same scene,
I don't have a problem. I don't think at the beginning. I think it's the same scene you're talking about with Superman.
Oh.
Where I was like, he was getting mad about something, but I was like, I can't get over your bald head. I just can't. Like, you just look so, like, goofy. But that's Lex. So, there you go. Sorry, Nicholas.
No, but I don't know.
It's not your fault.
And I like the sentiment that Superman has in that speech. I just wish it was a tad shorter. Because, like, homie, you still got a lot to handle right now.
Yeah.
Then there's a cameo, which raises a lot of questions in canon.
Uh-huh.
And I'd imagine if you're not a general moviegoer and you, like, have seen this character before,
Yeah.
it would raise a lot of questions. I already know where some of the canon consistencies are coming and going. Not all of them, because it is not a clear refresh from the DCEU as we left it.
Yeah.
And especially, I think, considering we don't get the context of why this character is here, I ultimately think it just is it's an odd choice.
I don't know.
I think picking and choosing characters, whatever, but I think you have to explain specifically here,
Yeah.
because this character relates to another character in this
Yeah.
movie that is very related to a bunch of stuff that happened in other projects. And we'll get into spoiler talk on what I'm talking
Because
about
that
here,
probably didn't make sense, but we'll get to it.
but it's just a very odd choice to have this character here and not explain it.
Yeah. Well, and you know, stuff is coming out about this actor, so
Indeed.
maybe they won't use him again.
And then my last con is
And I know it's so nitpicky, and it's not even
So
all
funny
that
you're bothered by
important
this.
to the movie at all. I don't think they've ever even said this out loud. But instead of LexCorp, which Lex Luthor runs in essentially every timeline that Lex Luthor runs a company,
Yeah.
it's Luthor Corp, as it was in Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand being a fan of Smallville. But I was going into this
so
movie, and I
funny.
knew it was Luthor Corp going
Uh-huh.
into it, and I know it's so nitpicky, and it doesn't matter. But if it doesn't matter, why is it not LexCorp? I was almost expecting there to be like
man.
now I'm officially different from my dad's company, and it's mine now. So
Or
it's
like an
LexCorp.
Avengers type thing where it like knocks down all the letters but except for
And then an
L
X
and
randomly
core.
ends up on there.
Yeah.
L Corp.
You're like, fine, I'll just put my first name. No, I like couldn't care less. So it's really funny every time you complain. I
Well,
just laugh.
'cause-
I mean, it's fine. Like
Because whenever Lex has
you're allowed to not like
Because
it.
also Lex Luthor, like in like the more comic booky things,
Mhm.
has henchmen robots because he doesn't
Yeah.
trust people because he's inhuman and cold and
Mhm.
doesn't have human connection, unlike Superman,
Mhm.
which is why he has Lex bots everywhere.
Oh.
And it's okay, Luthor bots, and it's like that's not what they're called.
Yeah, I feel like it does flow better, like Lex Spots, Lex Core. I don't know. I really just don't care though, honestly. But it's okay.
But
I think I've seen other people
I-
complaining, so
I don't know.
You're not the
I don't know.
only
It's
one.
nitpicky. I still think this is a great movie, and it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. So why would you do this?
mhm, yeah,
but whatever.
It's-
That's it. It's dead. It's gone.
done, over with.
So that is our pros and cons. So
We're going into spoiler talk now. So,
We have a really good opening line for our spoiler.
which one? There's a lot of spoilers. Okay, yeah. So you have been warned.
I mouthed it
I
to
can't
him.
say this enough. Please see this movie before you hear us talk about these spoilers because there's so
Yeah.
many surprises. I just absolutely loved seeing in theaters for the first time. So
Yeah.
you can see it in theaters right now for this weekend,
Oh.
and I definitely recommend you do.
One last thing, there are 2 post-credit scenes. They're not very teasery or like spoilery or anything like that. They're just fun. One is just a really pretty shot that's in one of the posters they posted, and then I actually forgot what the second one was.
The other one's just a really funny thing they added.
Yeah, so it's not anything serious, but I think it's fun to stay for it at least once. Just don't expect like
It's not groundbreaking
teasing or like cameo or whatever. Like it's just fun.
Absolutely.
There you go. And it knows it's trying to be fun. It's not trying to be like, oh my gosh, there's a bigger threat out there. You're like, okay, you were trying to be cool and you weren't. That's not these post-credit scenes. They're
sure.
trying to be fun and they are fun. So
Yeah.
there you go.
So spoiler talk in 3, 2, 1.
Supergirl!
What are you doing here? I thought you were
Woo!
on Sirens.
Anyways, thanks for watching my dog, bitch. That's
Oh
the
my
line
God.
that Zoe Rose Bryant
That's
posted.
an iconic ass line.
And I was like, low-key, it's
Ugh.
not a spoiler, but like it kind of is. But it's okay because it's Saturday. So honestly, should have seen it Thursday or Friday. But
No,
it's okay.
seeing Supergirl. Oh, and she's so,
So
cool
fun.
and so quirky.
Mhm.
Not quirky's the wrong word, but she's so cool actually.
Yeah.
I think it's a very fun contrast between
Mhm.
Clark being super cheesy and her just being like.
They're almost like different. They're giving like different generations. Like,
yes.
yeah, she's very much giving like younger sister that annoys the older sibling kind of dynamic. I know they're not siblings or cousins, but like that's the
still good,
dynamic it's giving. But they still clearly like love each other. Like she entrusted him with her dog. And he did.
Crypto bash her into the ground was so funny.
And she was just laughing. She didn't even like care.
Oh
That
my
was
gosh, that was
great.
such a fun aesthetic, and it makes me so excited to
So
see
excited.
her movie.
Yeah.
That's like the
Yeah.
perfect pitch for her movie, is just watching
Yeah.
that short little scene.
I agree.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I already loved the casting, but to actually see her in the suit was really fun. What a great suit. And then just the little teases of, we know Crypto's going to be in her movie now because he's back with her. And I wonder why he had to babysit. I wonder what she was doing.
Well, because she went to a planet where there's a red sun, which
Yeah.
essentially makes them mortal.
Yeah.
So then Crypto would just
So-
not be as safe as he is being a super
Yeah,
dog.
but does that mean, like, what is she going to do now?
I don't know.
Because it sounds like she's, like, that's her thing, is going to red suns and getting drunk. So, like, is she just not going to do that for a while? Does she have, like, phases where she does? I don't know. But it makes you want to know that. It makes you want to know more.
And I do know that her movie's supposed to be based off of Supergirl. I think it's
Woman of Tomorrow.
Woman of Tomorrow,
Mhm.
and that's supposed to take like it's almost like an Odyssey where she jumps between planets.
Yeah.
And I know Lobo's gonna be in it, and
Yeah.
I can so very easily see him showing up at like a
Yeah.
party scene and crashing it.
Yep.
That feels almost like the perfect place to see him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. I
Because
think.
from what I read, they actually, like, kind of respected each other, like, just upon initial meeting. But then, like, just what he does and how he does it is kind of when she was like, oh, I'm not really about that life. But then I never read that they were, like, actual, like, enemies, that he was after her. So I don't know. But I can very clearly see how that can happen.
Mhm.
So I think that'll be fun if they meet and then maybe even like each other, respect each other, and then it kind of gets to that, oh, but I do this, like I kill people in this way, and like
Oh, I can very easily
Yeah.
see it because he's a mercenary. I can
Yeah.
very easily see maybe it's even Lex sending him after her.
maybe.
So he can get another Kryptonian or something like that.
Yeah.
Some
So,
very
alright.
interesting stuff. I'm interested to see them open up more of the cosmic stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we can see more lanterns, some of the alien races we're familiar with DC.
Yeah.
Some fun stuff they can do there. And either way, the casting is just so strong.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see what that project becomes.
Very, very excited. So, yeah.
Let me see what other twists we have. We can
Peacemaker,
talk about
Maxwell Lord. Ooh, can we talk about Lex and his obsession and what we mean
Go for it.
and the details by that?
Go.
Oh my god, like right off the bat, them revealing that he's so incredibly obsessed with Superman that he has watched him and footage of him so much to learn his moves before he actually does them. So then when he controls, I think they call
Ultraman.
it, well, don't they call it the hammer when he's in the,
Yes, when he's
Thing.
disguised in
Yeah.
that fight where he
Mhm.
loses for the first time, it's the
Yeah.
Hammer of Baravia.
yeah, that he can like call out to the people 36A or whatever. Like he has all these moves against him. That's so, I feel like it could, if it was anybody but Lex, it would be cheesy, but it's Lex, and that's such an interesting thing to do, and it worked really well for me.
I've never seen something like that from
Yeah.
Lex before, and that is such a great
Oh my gosh.
addition.
Yeah. And then it also felt like, also with the political commentary, that scene where that guy helps Superman off the ground because he sold like some sort of food to, I forgot,
He like gave him a free.
whatever something in
before.
his food stand one time, but all it took was him helping Superman stand up for them to be like, find out everything about this man. To me, it was giving like people obsessing over like ICE agents going after whether you're an immigrant or not, or you're just a person of color and they think you could be. It was giving that like all you had to do was just like be at the wrong place at the wrong time in the wrong person watching you, and it's like now
Yeah,
you're,
treating this person like a human being
yeah,
You're-
and
and having
now
to be punished for that.
yeah, that's what was crazy to me, and it was just like this just feeling of dread, and then for him to show up later and Lex to use him as a pawn and just treat him like nothing was just, it was perfect for his character, but it was very sad to see, obviously. But I think it was done really well, and again, I think it was adding to that commentary. So, and we need to see that right now.
No,
So-
and I think another part of it that I think works just so well with it is that you have him constantly talking about how, like, Superman is, like, an abomination to humanity, and he's
Yeah.
making everyone weak, and he's making all of these humans' lives worse.
Yeah.
And then here he is proving that life doesn't mean anything to him. Humans don't mean anything to him.
Yeah.
And it's all just talk because he's not the one with power.
Yeah.
Going over to another big spoiler in the movie, Ultraman and the Hammer of Barovia's secret
Yeah.
identity is that it's a clone of Superman that Lex made, so that he would have a Kryptonian that could fight Superman.
Yeah.
And the whole movie he talks about how he has too much power and about how he needs to be put down because of it. And
Yeah.
then here he is with one under his control, and it's like, cool. So, like real life, the problem isn't that people have, power to do things. It's that they're able to do it, and you have no control over that.
Yeah.
And I think that is so real. Similar to like,
Yeah.
solar panels are not good for us because we can't monetize it because it makes too much power. It's giving that.
Yeah.
It's ugh.
Yeah. Well, even like the Jurassic World thing where the guy was willing to kill people in order to profit off of the medication rather than just like let people have access to it. So, which is what they deserve because they're human beings. So, yeah, we're seeing some more commentary on that, and I'm glad that's happening with big blockbusters. And then to have people praising those parts of the movie, or at the very least not having a problem with it. Overall, like, kind of like what we talked about with the female-led Jurassic World movie, how people are like not really talking about it, but that's in itself is a
big
really
deal.
good sign. Yeah. So there you go.
No, absolutely.
Very fun.
And another thing with Ultraman, I wanted to talk about this earlier. We recently talked about Superboy as a character in Young Justice, and spoilers for that series.
Me too, because I haven't watched it.
Superboy
it's okay.
is a clone of Superman, and it's revealed, and it's made by LexCorp, and it's revealed that he is half a clone of Superman, and he's half a clone of Lex. So he doesn't have all of Superman's powers because he's half human, half Lex.
Okay.
And I think it's really funny adding into the context of that fine line between love and hate where they literally are two dads of a kid.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
There you go.
But
yeah.
no, and that was another thing, because the Hammer of Barovia / Ultraman's true identity, they played too much with that for them to not reveal it.
Yeah.
And my thought was either clone of Superman, it could have been Supergirl. And to be fair, before we saw it, my money was on Supergirl.
Yes, that's why at first I was like, oh man, does that mean she's not going to show up? Because I thought when they teased the line about, well, I'm babysitting Crypto, or dog sitting for someone, I was like, oh, obviously he's talking about Supergirl. Also love that they pointed out that Crypto's not his dog, because I think a lot of people don't know that. So, it's very much Supergirl's dog. But anyways, so then I was like, oh man, maybe she's not going to show up or like be teased or something. But then she actually did. So it was fine.
That was
It
awesome.
worked out. So,
Or I was starting to think maybe it was, or Superboy, which I
Yeah.
thought would be crazy. I can see how we got there.
yeah.
But I was like, there's a precedent for Lex cloning Superman, and
Yeah.
frankly, there is one that's a very popular named character.
Yeah.
And we already have Supergirl coming.
Yeah.
So, well, it's not him yet. Yeah, I mean, very clearly here, I think it wouldn't be all that surprising now to like randomly be like, oh hey, here's one of our old tries at trying to clone Ultraman, but we couldn't like control this one.
Yeah.
So canonically, there's potential that Connor's out there somewhere.
Yeah. There you go.
But and then my last bet was maybe it's not Kal, it's Jor-El his dad, his
Mhm.
Kryptonian dad. And I was
Yeah.
just like, no, right?
Oh, also, hey Bradley Cooper.
Oh my gosh, you
Hey.
told me that the casting choice was going to gag me, and I was like, who could it be? And I was like, oh, it's Rocket Raccoon. Not
I
Rocket.
didn't even put that together.
Not Rocket
but that's another
Raccoon being
James Gunn
Superman's
friend.
dad.
I didn't even put that together.
Wild choice.
I'm just waiting for Chris Pratt to show up in one of these projects.
No, people are. I don't know. There's people saying that he should. Certain people are saying he should be Booster Gold in that project.
I thought you were gonna say Batman. I was really scared. No, that's why I was like, no, please don't say that. But your face was like, I was like, oh, what's the worst possible casting? Love you, Chris Pratt.
He's gonna be Wonder Woman.
Well, I don't really know if I love you, but love your work. Don't want you as Batman. Thank you. Sorry to even put that out in the universe. That's what I thought you were gonna say because I was thinking of the horrible, the worst option.
No. But
Maybe circling back to his parents.
Yeah, the
When-
visuals.
I really liked the whole thing with the message.
Yeah.
And that it was like it was stuttered or whatever.
Mhm.
And he only ever got the first half of it.
Yeah.
I really liked that they were speaking in another language.
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw that was in My Adventures with Superman, and
Yeah.
I really liked that choice.
Yeah. It also does raise the question. I was wondering this because later when the message is out there in the public, people were interpreting it. But I wonder how they know that. How do they know what they were saying?
I mean, there's just people who studied languages and dead languages and what things meant.
Yeah, but how do people know their language at all?
I don't know. I mean, it's linguistics, and there's a whole science behind how language works. There's a whole subgenre of podcasts out there about words and how languages became what they are today. So there's plenty of science behind it. So that's
Okay.
not. I would say if it's unbelievable in the slightest, it's that it happened so fast. Is that it was understood so fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's what threw me off more. I don't know.
Um,
That's super nitpicky though. Like
Sure.
it's a movie with, hot girl. Like I'm not really gonna sit here and be like, that just ruined the movie. All right.
mhm.
I didn't even put it on my con. I just thought
And then
about that just now. So
the engineer breaking into the Fortress of Solitude and finding
Yeah.
all the robots. I
Yeah.
got really sad for that scene when Superman came back.
Yeah.
And the robot was still worried about him.
yeah.
Oh, I thought that was so sad. But then, having Lex Luthor just walk through the scene of the engineer destroying all of the
Everything,
robots
like,
was
going
so
past his
cold, and
head.
he wasn't even
Mhm.
phased.
Yeah.
And they played the Lex Luthor score, and it was everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
A
it
lot of
was
aura
so
there.
Cool.
A lot of aura. I also thought it was really funny. I was like, how on earth did he get in? And I was like, he had your DNA. Like
Yeah,
that was
that's
just
why-
so like
And
duh
that's why I
for
really
me.
narrowed down who Ultraman could have had to have been.
But even then, because I didn't know that, so I didn't have that in my mind. But I was just like, you know what? I feel like with how obsessed he is with you, I feel like it's not super far fetched that he would have your DNA somehow.
Somehow.
But then that was funny that it was like an entire person that's how they got in. So basically you. So in a way.
absolutely.
Back to the parents thing. I really love the difference between his birth parents and his adoptive parents.
Yeah.
And how originally he was getting his inspiration to do great stuff from his Kryptonian parents,
Yeah.
and how he interpreted that message and how that was the message that gave him comfort.
Yeah.
At the end, you see his birth parents are
Yeah.
the ones who are now giving him comfort.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was
So
so
sweet.
well done.
Mhm. Well, and I do think some people are complaining about it. I do think they left it open. Like, there's plenty of possibility. Like, maybe it is, at the end of the day, that is the message, point blank, period. And personally, I don't have a problem with that. But I'm also open to, people have thrown out the idea Brainiac could have, manipulated the message for whatever reason. He could be out there. Sure, I'm open to that. I liked Brainiac in
Either
Harley
way, I
Quinn.
think it works here. So if they wanted to do that, I think that's a door open.
It's
I don't think
it's
it needs
open
to be
enough, but it
again though.
Exactly.
So for this movie,
Yeah.
I think it works perfectly fine.
Yeah. And I think that's perfect for them to leave a bunch of stuff open, but not necessarily in need of a follow-up.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
And if they
Yeah.
ever follow this up with like seeing Zod, I think one of the only other few people who survived off of Krypton.
Yeah.
I think that also is a completely different thing that we've seen from that character.
Yeah.
Because every time we've seen Zod before, he always has known Superman's dad.
Yeah.
But he was always an enemy of his dad, and so you know, in this case, they had very similar mindsets and missions and what you know Kal-El was sent to Earth to be. So
Yeah.
I think that's a completely different approach to that character if and when we ever circle around to Zod being a Superman villain.
Yeah. Very much so. I also I love the line that Pa Kent says. What's his actual first name? Jonathan. Okay. Where he's basically like, what matters is what you wanted the message to be, not what it was. Like, because that shows your true character. Like, you didn't have the ending, but you filled it in with something hopeful that was true to you. And at the end of the day, who cares what they said it was? Because that's clearly not what you want to live by. So, you know, that's not important anymore.
And I like the idea that like there was a message that inspired you, and even if it's not what they meant, it's what you wanted it to mean, and so and that's what you've done with it.
Yeah.
And I love he has the specific thing, like almost a specific line along the words of, like we didn't make you what you are today. We gave you the tools to figure out who you are, and that's what parents are supposed to do.
Oh, I also loved that line because more
love
parents
that.
need to hear that. So.
And even here, it's so true that even though you know he got so much inspiration from that message from his original parents, his Kryptonian parents, you know, it was a tool to be who he ultimately is, and then he learns that that's not what they wanted him to be, but it's still who he is.
Yeah.
I think it's almost a perfect encapsulation of what Jonathan is saying in that scene. And I also really love the idea that Jonathan's the softie of the two. I think that's such a nice touch.
Very fun. I loved that they were like yelling at the phone on speakerphone. And it was so funny. And then like Jonathan saying something and they're on speakerphone so he can hear it, but then the mom repeats it yelling and he's like, "Mom, I heard it." Thanks though. That was so funny.
It is really funny. Was there anything else we kind of brushed over?
The Peacemaker cameo
Right.
and Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord.
That's crazy. Only James Gunn would replace a character previously played by Pedro Pascal with his brother who played the Weasel. What choice? Honestly, it's not that big of a character to be like.
Well, I honestly
whatever,
like before my memory was jogged when you said that, but like I didn't even think about that before you said it. So I really don't care.
No, it's a non-thing.
Because wasn't he in
I
the
just think that's
second
really
Wonder
funny.
Woman movie? That's where he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not
He's
a lot
like
of
the only actor to not continue to get shit from that.
Yeah, and well, and that's what I was gonna say is like plenty of people don't want to remember that movie, so I think it's okay that they recast. Because honestly, how many people are really gonna remember? So maybe not. Maybe not a lot. But I thought the Peacemaker cameo was fun, and that he was hating on Superman. I think that's just so Peacemaker, and it wasn't too long. Same with Sean Gunn. I think his line, "Oh my God, the conservatives and liberals finally agree on something that Lex Luthor sucks." I don't know. I feel like they were just there for the right amount of time.
I think ultimately what he serves in this movie is really fun as a cameo. I think it's like the perfect size, and I do think what he says is funny.
Yeah.
However, in the context of the new start of this whole new universe, it's like, oh, hey, remember this guy? And it's like, should I be remembering anyone if this is a whole new universe? I think it's specifically a little tricky with...
Are you talking like with Peacemaker?
Yes, with
Okay.
Peacemaker being here and Rick Flag Sr. being here. And I'm very interested to see how James Gunn deals with the fact that Peacemaker killed his son,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to see that be a whole thing in season 2 of Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm. Well, don't forget there is another version of Peacemaker in that trailer. So
Correct.
they're gonna probably, it seems like they're gonna play around with multiple versions, maybe multiple universes, and maybe that's how they explain the intro and or
I'm
transition
sure.
rather.
But I think it's, I don't know. I'm sure I'm reading more into it than general audiences will. Honestly, I'd be surprised if a ton of general audiences even know he had a show or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's an interesting choice to have him be there without explanation in the first thing.
I don't know.
And we'll see how Peacemaker season 2 goes. I was surprised by season 1, and I wish I was more excited for season 2.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm there. We'll see.
let me see.
Also, I think one thing we've forgotten to mention is Metamorpho.
I was just about to bring him up.
Well, because I was saying earlier the line where Guy Gardner's talking to somebody else, I wanted to avoid spoilers. So he was talking to Metamorpho when he was like, "You're not joining our group. There's no room." And he's like, "In the Justice Gang." And he's like, "Y'all are called like Justice Gang? That's an awesome name." And he's like, "You're in." I loved that line.
No, and also Metamorpho was so cool.
Yeah.
I loved his fighting style and how he like got squid-like, the way he would fly,
Mm-hmm.
and then when he like became sand in that last like action scene he had, I
really
thought that
cool.
was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. No, I think
And
the
his
fighting.
little son was so cute.
Mhm.
Just a little guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I
So,
thought the action was
anyways.
so fun, especially
Mhm.
towards the end. Some other huge action highlights is I loved Superman and Crypto
Mhm.
fighting like all of the Raptor agents.
Yeah.
I thought that whole scene looked really cool. I really liked the Engineer and Ultraman versus Superman in like the arena.
Yeah.
Thought that was super cool.
And I think the scene where they start filling his lungs with whatever they
The
called it.
nanobots.
Yeah.
The nanites.
I thought that was so well done because he, once it starts filling his lungs, he doesn't talk at all, but you can, like, you're slowly piecing together his plan. And also it changes, you know, I thought he was going to fly into the sun where like he would gain, where he would heal and gain power and they would probably burn to death. But then to find out, and maybe that was his original plan and he didn't quite make it, I don't know, or he's going down far enough where he would land and be fine but they wouldn't. Like, either way, whatever his plan was, I think that's so smart, and the fact that he didn't need to say that, and so like audiences just had to sit and slowly figure it out, I think was very fun choice. So
Absolutely. And especially because we're watching Lex and his gang of interpreters try and do the same thing we're trying to do.
yeah,
It's just very fun to have like a character going through the same stuff that your audience is. I think that's
yeah.
I think that's always a really nice move.
Yeah, and to show like Superman is smart too. He has some ideas and plans.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
very fun.
Let me see if there's anyone else to shout out.
Hawk Girl killing the fascist leader of Bravia.
A very bold choice from James Gunn.
But I also just like, I always love the scenes where they're like, "You can't kill me because like Superman sent you," and they're like, "Well, I'm not Superman," or like something along those lines, those themes.
And she says,
"Mm-hmm."
No, I also
like, "Well,
really
I'm not
loved
Superman."
the scene where the Justice Gang first shows up when Superman is trying
Yeah.
to deal with the giant amphibian thing.
Yeah,
I thought that scene was really cool. I specifically
and the middle fingers and guy. That's what I was saying.
Yes,
Look at
that's
his
also very
hands because
fun.
they're really funny.
but
was
I
great.
also specifically really liked the idea that, you know, even if it's this giant monster that breathes fire and is bigger than a skyscraper,
Yeah,
Superman is still going to try and find a way to get it out alive.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just thought that was such an awesome little character thing that it's almost a character flaw that he's always going to try and find
Yeah.
a way to get everyone out alive.
Mm-hmm.
even
Well,
if
and
it's
that's what's so fun
not
about those
possible.
characters and like having different characters on share a screen together with different morals. Like that's always so fascinating because they always butt heads on how to deal with the situation, but at the end of the day, they're still on the same side of this is a situation that needs to be dealt with. So that's always fun.
Absolutely.
It's like the whole Daredevil Punisher thing.
Yes.
So that what makes
It's very
their
similar to that.
dynamic very fun.
Oh, and then one last thing. I really love the visuals of going through like the portals into that pocket universe.
Yes.
Like the rainbow lava thing is giving
Yeah.
a lot of, I would say, Guardians of the Galaxy, because that's a
Yeah.
very colorful franchise.
Yes.
But the
That's
universe
the
was really cool,
action
and the
scene.
portals.
That's my favorite.
Oh my god, when the Hammer of Barovia is first walking through those portals,
Mhm.
that was another thing that was just like, oh my gosh, that is so cold. I love it. Like, not even taking a beat,
Yeah.
it's just going through a pocket universe.
Mhm.
Oh,
I thought his suit was really funny when he took off the gold hammer suit and was just Ultraman with the generic black suit on,
With the black
whatever.
noir suit on.
Yeah. It was giving very like noir something else, and then a third thing like the Yelena outfit in
Yes,
in
absolutely.
Hawkeye. Yeah. I thought that was really funny.
yeah, absolutely.
Anyways,
So
I think that's it.
that's the most that I can think about.
We even talked a little bit about what could happen in some of the sequels too.
Actually, a
so-
sequel. Okay, a sequel specifically to Superman. Obviously,
Mhm.
there's going to be a lot of other projects
Yeah.
that I think are going to be really important in setting the boundaries for this world,
Yeah.
and like building on world building,
Mhm.
specifically for these characters.
Yeah.
What are some things you think Superman could be doing in a sequel, or that you would want to see him do in a sequel?
Well, also I wanted to like do a tiny little not pivot, I don't know the right word, but side note, I guess.
Okay.
People James Gunn has been teasing that a big character is likely to show up in Peacemaker season 2. Do you think that could be Superman or somebody in the Superman movie? Like, it doesn't sound like it sounds like a cameo, like a just a quick like hey and then leave moment.
Maybe. I don't know. Honestly, I think James Gunn could do whatever he wanted with that show. 'Cause
Yeah.
frankly, I think he's arguably already doing anything he wants with that show.
Oh.
Because he's officially handed all of the reins, so...
Yeah. I don't know. I think a sequel, I kind of would like to see someone other than Zod, kind of like the Batman 2.
I also think Zod should take a backseat. I think it would be cool to see him maybe eventually.
Eventually, but like I like the idea of Brainiac coming or someone new that I don't remember or I haven't
Brainiac,
even
I
heard
think,
of.
is going to be our strongest choice.
Yeah. I think so too.
I also think specifically with Zod, I think if they ever brought him in, I think it would be really cool to have it be like a Zod army versus the Super Family kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like Superboy, Supergirl, Superman, Crypto, and basically like the like peak Super Family versus Zod, and facing kind of like, you know, what Krypton was versus what its legacy now is, now that they're the surviving people from that whole civilization. I think that could be really interesting. I think that needs to be built towards more before we get there, but I think that could be something so cool.
It's kind of what I think about with the Joker. Like, I know that they have a canon Joker in the Batman with Robert Pattinson and everything. Obviously, Barry Keoghan. But I do hope that even if they have to like recast, which I don't think they would need to, but whatever. I don't know. I'd like someone else to be the villain of the second movie.
I think Mr.
So-
Freeze is a great pitch.
Yeah.
I think seeing like that Gotham specifically frozen,
Mm-hmm.
and like seeing what they kind of want to do with that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
you-
whatever they go with, I'm so down for. But
Yeah. So I did not catch this when watching the Superman movie, but apparently when the people were evacuating, they had a sign that said Gotham or to Gotham.
I played it.
Because I've seen like a picture of it. Someone took a picture of it in the theater. Don't do that, guys, but I saw a picture. Anyways, but I thought it was funny because they were like, why on earth would you go there? They're like flooded right now. I thought that was funny.
That's really funny, actually.
You're like, that's not any better. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
For real.
But
It's like when I'm trying to leave Metropolis when it's splitting in half and I get kidnapped by a man dressed as a clown instead.
that's crazy. Or I get like my car's underwater now, like it's all drowning.
Got trapped in
Flooded.
Got trapped in a death trap trying to tell me riddles.
That's kind of crazy.
I love the aesthetic of Gotham so much.
Yeah. It's very fun.
What other stuff? I'm trying to think what other cool stuff. I want Lois to continue to kind of approach Superman's conflicts from like the journalist angle. I think it would be really strong to keep that. And I think in the other movies, Lois has struggled to maintain importance after like the initial movie kind of setting the terms for the franchise.
Yeah.
So I really hope they break the cycle of her kind of like them feeling like she needs to backseat the longer she stays here, because I think she's so strong here. So I just hope they continue to keep her at the forefront. Obviously, Lois, if you will, is like such a big part of this movie, so I wouldn't think that they would. But there's not a huge precedent for her to continue having like leading energy throughout Superman projects the longer they go on. So let's fix that, James Gunn. I believe in you.
Find something for her to do.
Give
I
her
believe in
her
you.
Nebula arc.
Yeah. Something. Anyways, I do, and with that, I want to see more Clark at the Daily Planet specifically, because I mean, we got some Clark in this movie, but I think a good chunk of that was with Lois, and because she knows who he is, he was like, he didn't really get to play Clark. He got to be Superman, like who he is, whatever. I want to see him more as Clark, like around other people, where he actually like needs to be Clark. And I also like the fun comment where they're talking about his glasses making him look different.
Yes, I love that little reveal. I think that
Yeah.
became canon at some point when they tried to modernize the character. But honestly, I love it, and the idea that even though like he still goes through the effort to give a different aesthetic, even though he has the glasses that make people see him as a little different, or just always off from what Superman looks like.
Yeah.
I think that's almost a nice touch to be like, and for all of those asking why no one's putting two and two together,
Yeah.
this is why. And also to us, we're still seeing him put in the effort to look different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I super love that.
Very fun.
And then Lois and Green Lantern's whole what a mess. That whole thing where it's like,
You
oh,
stepping on
so
my
you know
laptop.
Superman is Clark Kent. It's like, why would you say that if I didn't confirm that? That's
Yeah.
so funny.
And that moment where Lex is like, maybe I'll go over that reporter you always do interviews with, Clark Kent. And it was very much giving like the Batman, like Bruce Wayne. And then he's like, fuck. And then he's like, we have to go after him. And he's like, okay. That was so like, that was giving that scene for
That's
sure.
funny.
Well, alrighty.
Are you ready to rank
I'm
some
so
stuff?
ready to rank. So we are going to,
We're about done, but we just need to rank some stuff.
yes, we're going to rank first how excited we are for the rest of the DCU Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters
I'm gonna write 1 through 10
slate
on there.
of projects.
On
Yes,
there.
same.
Okay.
So,
There are
and I
10
love that
projects.
they name dropped Gods and Monsters in the first little spiel in the beginning, like the context setter, if you will.
Yeah.
And I actually really liked the idea that it was like a countdown.
it was like 300 years ago, we had
Yeah.
the first metahuman.
333.
3 years ago, he started being Superman. Loved that.
Yeah. Very fun.
Super cool, super clever.
Okay.
Okay, so starting at number...
Ooh, and I'll just list them out real quick. The 10 projects that are upcoming in Chapter 1 or Phase 1 of DC, or the DCU, is the Lantern Show. Is that what it's called? Or just
Yes,
Lanterns, I think. Supergirl, it's just Supergirl now, instead of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I liked the first name better, but maybe they're changing some things too much where they're like, maybe we should just call it Supergirl. Fair
Sure.
enough. Clayface, Peacemaker Season 2. The Authority, The Brave and Bold, Swamp Thing, Waller, Paradise Lost, and Booster Gold. So, I had not even heard of 3 or 4 of those, so there you go.
Yeah.
And most of these, he dropped them in a Slate video, I think, like right before a Comic-Con.
Okay.
So all of these have come out of James Gunn's mouth.
Okay. Per.
So, okay,
For now, that's what we can expect.
our number 10, so our least...
Anticipated project of this slate. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I love Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. I think that's great casting, and I so understand him wanting to save that. I can't blame him. She, I think, is great in the role.
In the Suicide Squad, his Suicide Squad, I think she's done really dirty. And then
I just,
also,
like,
you raised a
hate
great
her.
point. She's very unlikable, and what does a whole show of her look like?
Yeah.
I fear very almost annoying because
Yeah.
she's a very aggravating character because she's so morally corrupt.
Yeah. What's like, I wasn't super excited for a Penguin show, but at least he wasn't insufferable. At least he was like interesting.
No. In the Batman, I think he's super personal. And
Yeah.
I still understand wanting to give him a show, but then he doesn't have that personality in the Penguin.
Yeah. So, and we don't even have a personality here that's likable at all. So I'm
there's not a pitch
very
for me to
excited.
be like other than the fact that it's Viola Davis.
Yes,
like Viola
yeah.
Davis is has leading energy,
Yeah.
but Amanda Waller is not a leading character.
No.
She's
but
like,
we'll see what they want to do with it. We'll see what that looks like.
indeed we will. Okay, number 9, 3, 2, 1, Peacemaker season 2.
Ooh, I'm fine with that show because I liked parts of the first season.
I think there are parts that are very strong.
I put The Brave and the Bold because I don't want them to do a different Batman. I want them to,
Yes. That's fair.
like, I just straight up don't want this project. Like, I want them to integrate the Batman universe and just make it the same.
Mhm.
So, that's that. I'm hoping they cancel that. I'm hoping they,
That's so fair.
go back on that. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We shall just see. Or, like, completely revamp what it is. But
I also
I don't
think-
know how you do that without just completely scrapping it.
Well, but then also,
So.
I think it's, I think you're jumping way too ahead to the most recent Robin, and there's so many other Robins to go through because it's supposed to be him having
Yeah.
Damian become Robin, which is his
like
birth
the-
son, and
the
he's like the
third.
4th Robin.
Oh, third or fourth? Well, I think he's the third in the Titans show. They have Jason Todd, and then they have
Canonically,
forgot his name, but he becomes Nightwing.
that's Dick Grayson.
Okay, yeah.
It starts.
it's
Dick
him
Grayson is the first, then it goes to Jason Todd, then it goes to
Yes.
Tim Drake,
Oh,
then-
that's who it is. Yeah.
and
My
then
bad. Yeah.
Bruce Wayne finds
is
out
true,
that
right.
he has Damian
A son.
as a son.
Okay. I don't remember if they get that far. I know they have Tim Drake though. I do remember all three of them. So there you go. Okay. I haven't written down the number 8. I'm sorry.
No, I'll just keep going. I think Peacemaker as a show is really great. Well, great's a harsh word. I think the aliens are really cool. I think Vigilante's a really fun character. And I really like what's her name? Amanda Walt. Oh, she was in the Minecraft movie. Danielle Brooks. I love her as an
Yeah.
actor, and I think I forget her name, but James Gunn's wife, I also think does amazing work in that show. However, I continue to think John Cena as Peacemaker is annoying throughout that whole show.
Yeah, I mean, it's insufferable to me in the Suicide Squad because then he also kills someone that people like. But at least in that show, he's surrounded by other people. So, like, I don't know. If for some reason it's not as bad in the show.
I don't know.
To
I
me.
feel like there was another show I compared it to whenever I was first watching it where it's like, man, everything except your main character is like pretty solid.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, man. You still have your main character, and that's the title of your show. But whatever.
Okay. I have
Number 8. 3, 2, 1. I have Booster Gold.
I have the Authority just because I don't know much about it. I don't really care. I mean, like, for any of these, I'll be there. I don't want to be there for the Brave and Bold or Waller, but I'll be there for everything else. And I mean, I will be there for anything they release. So there you go.
Booster Gold, I think it's a scooch too early for, like, a C-lister. I don't know. I feel like there's so many more big stories to be told that I'm very curious why we're jumping to this one that no one really asked for so early.
I don't know. He's got a vision.
And also, I don't
we'll see what
why
it is.
I don't see how he can be so tied in because he has yet to ever really be a big character in any capacity. So it's very bold, and then we don't even have a casting choice to make it be like, oh,
Yeah,
that's why we
the
want
pitch.
to see it.
Yeah.
And so it's, I don't know, it's hard without
So-
more of what that show looks like to be excited for it.
Okay. Fair enough. I have my number 7. You're behind.
I know.
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna step on people's toes, but
Okay.
with my ranking, but it's okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
I also put Booster Gold as my number
Gosh.
7
My number
for
7
similar reasons.
My number 7 is Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
I think, blending in with the Batman franchise just seems like way too big of a great idea. That starting over and starting after a lot of stuff has already happened to this Batman
Yeah.
feels like maybe a bad decision.
Mhm.
So I don't
I don't
know.
Yeah.
Number 6.
This is where I think I'm gonna start stepping on people's toes. I'm sorry.
How so? Like the things people are excited about?
I don't know.
Okay, number 6. 3, 2, 1. You had
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. My number 6 was The Authority.
I don't know much about Swamp Thing. I know a little bit. Cause didn't you say he was in Harley Quinn?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't really feel much either way about it. I'll be seated. I'll see what they do.
Yeah, I
guess I'm excited to see him again.
think director James
Cool.
Mangold makes
Mm-hmm.
that project seem way cooler than I think it inherently is. But also, I just really love Swamp Thing as a character.
Yeah.
He was a character in Injustice 2,
Mm-hmm.
where I really got to know him. And he's just really powerful. He can essentially grow to whatever size he wants. And he just controls plants. He's like a non-sexy, hulkish poison ivy.
Her?
And I said The Authority. I'm very excited to see the engineer again. I think she made a
Yeah.
really great first impression. And honestly, I can if the rest of her team gives similar vibes, I can definitely be there for
Her?
it.
Yeah.
I'd be very interested to see what that trailer looks like.
Yeah.
All right, you can go ahead with your number 5.
My number 5 is Paradise Lost because I love anything Wonder Woman or Wonder Woman adjacent. I love that character. I don't know. So I don't know what they're cooking, but I'm gonna be here to hopefully eat it up. So there you go.
Sure. My number 5 is also Paradise Lost.
Yeah.
I think it's a decent pitch. Kind of expanding on the lore of Wonder Woman before she even kind of comes in the picture, I think is an interesting choice. And I feel like not inherently a bad one.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see what they can do with that one.
Yeah. Okay. My number 4 is Peacemaker Season 2. Just because he's not my favorite character, but I like some other characters in that show. And, I want to see what they do now that it's going to be totally in universe. And then I'm excited to see some familiar faces from Superman in that movie or in that show, even if it's, not for very long. I think that's going to be a fun time.
You excited to
there
see
you
a
go.
lot more of Rick Flag Sr.?
No.
Because it looks like he's going to be the main antagonist.
Ugh. Hopefully he dies and is never seen again.
My number 4 is Swamp Thing. Like I said, I think I actually really like Swamp Thing as a character. And
Yeah.
James Mangold did amazing work with Logan. So I'm very excited to see those two things combine.
Yeah. Okay. My number 3 is Clayface. Just because even though I don't know much about the character, just the concept sounds really intriguing. And even if he's not like a super, super well-known character, I feel like he's known well enough.
Mm-hmm.
But also just like the pitch that it's body horror, I think is a really good pitch
I
for
think
me.
especially after following like The Substance.
Yeah.
Like The Substance
mean-
with Gotham vibes sounds
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I'm here for it.
My number 3.
And I think
go ahead.
the guy that's Clayface, he's cute. So I'm
Yes.
excited to see that.
There are some really high-ranking actors in the running for Clayface, but
Yeah.
the one they chose, I think, is the one I'm least familiar with.
Mhm.
But he was among some very strong
He's a
contenders, so
cutie.
I have to imagine he's same caliber.
Yeah.
My number 3 was also Clayface. I
Sure.
love Clayface as a character.
Yeah.
Lore drop. Where I first started getting into the Batman lore was the Lego Batman game on the DS. And Clayface
Period.
was like immediately my favorite character in that because he's just this giant Lego figure that's all goopy. And I'm like, I love him. He's so silly.
He's just a little guy.
He is. He is. He's so funny.
Okay, my number 2, and I went ahead and wrote number 1 because then that's the only one left.
Okay.
My number 2 is Lanterns because, and then obviously my number 1, what's left is Supergirl, obvi. Lanterns I'm really excited for, not only because of Guy Gardner, but also the casting. What is his name? Aaron Pierre, I think. Pierre or something like that. I think he looks great. I'm excited for him. I've seen him in other stuff, and it's good. So I'm just excited for that casting, but also I watched, I think earlier this year or late last year, I watched the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds for the first time, and it was bad. Like, don't get me wrong. But I was very interested to learn that he's basically like God. Like, he could do anything he wants with that ring. He could create anything he wants with that ring. And I think that's a very cool concept. Such a shame that they like hella fumbled whatever they wanted to do with that story. But hey. But I just think that's really cool, and I have faith that they're going to do it much better in the show, because they already have a much more interesting version here in Superman. So I'm excited to see what they do with multiple of those people in the ring. So yeah, I don't know. That's a good enough pitch for me. And obviously Supergirl, I was already here for it. I loved Supergirl. I watched the show. So, and then I loved the casting, and then to see her here in Superman and just see the suit and know the vibes of who she is as a character, and hopefully Crypto's going to be in it. The casting for Lobo and just what I know about his character, all of it just sounds really, really, really interesting. And I don't know. It seems like they're going to
Eat.
Yeah, they're going to eat. So there you go.
No.
Point
My
blank
number
period.
2 and my number 1 are exactly the same. I have Lanterns
Her.
at 2, and I have Supergirl at 1.
1. So,
Her.
a lot of the same stuff. I think the Green Lantern Corps is kind of described as space police.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the pitch is essentially it's basically space cops doing an investigation. And you have basically the most
Air jail.
basically the most popular Green Lantern, with John Stewart being like the newbie detective.
Yeah.
And there's so many different lanterns types. I want to see the different colors. I want them to kind of show what those planets look like. I love the aesthetic of all of the different lanterns and all of the different civilizations. I'm just super excited for that, and I do think that casting is so good.
Me too.
And now
Very
I
fun.
even really like Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
So love, and can't wait to see more.
Her.
And then
With Supergirl, same thing. I feel like we've talked that to death already, but
Yeah.
oh, so strong, so strong. If I had any worries about it,
it's immediately dealt with because we saw a glimpse of what that looks like in Superman. So very, very exciting.
Her.
Alrighty, next up we are going to rank the live-action Superman movies.
Solo Superman movies.
Solo
so
Superman movies. Good,
not
good
Supergirl, not Batman versus Superman. We are doing the first 4 Superman movies: Superman Returns, Man of Steel, and the new one, Superman in 2025. So there you go.
Absolutely. So, do you want to go ahead and start us off?
also I
Sure.
think it's really interesting that our excited list is the same for the top 3.
Yeah. So per. Okay, my number 7 is Superman 4. It's such a shame I love reading about movies on Wikipedia and IMDb just to like learn more about how they're made and like fun things that happened and whatever the process of before and after and whatever. And to read that after the critical decline from 1 through 3 and box office slow decline, they kind of totally reevaluated what they wanted to do with the franchise, and it even took a while for them to even like be in a place where they would agree to do this movie. Like Christopher Reeve, like he didn't even want to do another movie, but he came back, and it's just such a shame because it seemed like they really put a lot of thought into it. So it's such a shame that then it was really bad still. Very unfortunate, but it was just not good on like a lot of levels. It's not Supergirl bad, that would have been my bottom ranking.
For me, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty bad. So, unfortunately. But anyways,
But hey, we threw all of the nuclear weapons into the sun, so
ugh.
I guess that makes world peace.
I can see where they tried, but like it just did not flesh out well.
Yeah, my number 7
unfortunately.
is also Superman 4: The Quest for World Peace.
Yeah.
I watched this one before you did, and I was so curious to see what you felt about what the heck was his name? Radioactive Man. And it's just it's done so poorly. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Why does he have demon nails?
So
It's
many
not
weird
good.
choices for that movie.
My number 6 is Superman 3. I will say, I forgot his name, but the
The
coding
hacker
guy.
guy,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I wish he was like the only villain in that movie. Why did he have to join the group? He was so lame.
Didn't you think it was
the
weird
group
that
was lame.
this is the one Superman movie on our list? No, this and Man of Steel don't have Lex Luthor in it,
Mm-hmm.
but yet he's still working for another billionaire with his name in the
Yeah.
company.
It's
name.
just so lame.
It's
I'm
so
like,
weird.
it wasn't needed, and it made it worse. So it's such a shame because I really liked him. I thought that the concept was really cool, but then he just didn't go anywhere because then they just lopped him in with a group, and it's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways.
Yeah, my number 6 is
Also, Superman 3. I agree that character is a standout. This is also the first movie where they kind of have Superman not be interested in Lois
Yeah.
as a love interest, which I thought was so dumb.
Yeah.
And then,
But an element I did really like from this movie as well is they try and like recreate their own kryptonite, and it essentially makes Superman start not like being mean.
Cool. Yeah.
And then I really like the scene where
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Essentially,
It's
actually.
giving him- yeah.
but I actually really like the scene whenever Superman and Clark Kent are fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then they kind of have that scene where it's like, oh, now we're the same person again,
Yeah.
and we're good. I actually really like that scene.
Me too. Yeah.
so
There are
definitely
some saving
some-
graces a little bit here and there.
Yeah,
some fun
there
moments.
definitely was something cooking here that I think could have been made into a good movie.
Yeah.
I fear Superman 4 was on the cutting board before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
There you go. My number 5, not to like keep going in order, but is Superman 2. There are some fun things about this. That isn't that where Lois goes to, I think Paris, and like goes up like the elevator,
Yes.
and like that whole sequence is really fun. And then him saving her, and although it's, I mean, again, it's just like, I get you're a reporter and you'll do anything, but sometimes you just.
Be doing
That's
too
just
much.
dumb. Like, I don't even know. Like, Jimmy has, I think in Superman 3, I want to say he has a scene where he, like, goes into a dangerous situation. I think it's 3, but I don't really remember.
Maybe.
But you know what? If nothing else, I remember Lois's scene a lot, even if she makes some dumb decisions. So it's more iconic than that. So there you go.
Absolutely.
And my number 5 is also Superman 2.
Yeah.
This is the first time we saw Zod. I actually really
Mm-hmm.
like that the first Superman movie sets up Zod returning.
Yeah.
And I don't know, him and his 3 goons I thought worked really well.
Yeah.
I liked them quickly learning how like their new powers on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I love the scene where he like lands on the lake for the first time and then he's just like walking on water. I think the practical effect on that looks really great for back in the day.
Yeah.
And then I love the way they incorporate Lex Luthor still, and he's like, "Hey, give me Australia, and I'll get you the rest of the world."
Yeah.
I super love how Lex ties into all of that. Lex tries to portray Superman. Superman anticipates that.
Yeah.
All kinds of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Love, 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 love.
Here's where our list might be different.
Okay, our
We
last
shall
3 are the
see.
same. I'm very curious to
'Cause
see
I
how
think
it goes from
our-
here. I feel these are like almost the very obvious ones.
Well, I think the first 2, I feel like we're gonna have the same ranking, but 3 and 4, I don't know. They might be switched. But I put Man of Steel, and this is the one I struggled with the most. Man of Steel or Superman Returns was my I don't know what to put in 3 versus 4. And if we hadn't rewatched Man of Steel, I think it would be in 3. And there's still good things about that film. Lois is not one of them. I hate Lois in Man of Steel. I think she's a horrible Lois. I don't think she's even close to a well-written female character, period, much less Lois. And I think that's such a shame because Amy Adams has such a capability to be awesome and do great things. And I just think at the end of the day, she's just not Lois to me. There's one scene where I do feel like she's giving Lois, and that's when she like sneaks into the Fortress of Solitude area, right? The like iceberg,
Into the
ice
ship.
mountain thing. Yeah. I'm like, that's giving Lois, like reporter Lois. But everything else, she doesn't look like Lois, doesn't have the iconic look, and doesn't, the chemistry's not there for me, and so that's just a big letdown. I think, the line where, you know, he saves the kids and like, maybe you should just let them die, and I think that's a shame. I think that's misreading Superman and his parents. But I like the opening scene with all the Krypton stuff. I think that's really fascinating. I think, Henry Cavill as Superman does well. I think there's some fun dynamics between him and the military. There's a lot of good things too. But I think ultimately Superman Returns is a little bit more understanding of who Superman is as a character. And I was making a joke, which is just like a me thing, but sometimes in movies, I don't know where the line is on when it crosses it, when it doesn't. But sometimes when there's just so much destruction, I just get so stressed out to where it actually dampens my experience on the movie. Like when a person is destroying their house, or like this happens a little bit in Lilo and Stitch, both versions, where the aliens coming in and destroying their house with the gun and everything. I'm just like, at a certain point, I'm getting stressed out because it's just so destroyed right now that I'm not having a good time. And that happens in Man of Steel. So just the few things, the cons do drag it down for me, but I still gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. So it's definitely still watchable, definitely still good. It's totally different, and so it's like its own thing, which, can make it seem, I don't know if refreshing is the right word because it's dark, but different, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, that's my thoughts.
Sure. My number 4 is Superman Returns.
Yeah, I was wondering if they'd be switched.
Superman Returns really surprised me. It was really refreshing to see this one after Superman 4.
Yeah.
Woo.
Maybe that's another thing too, is because I watched both in the same day, so maybe I thought it was like.
But
better,
Superman,
but,
I don't know. Superman Returns, I thought was really interesting to jump into this new casting and this new kind of take on this universe in the middle of it. It's almost like what they try and do with Superman 2025. And they have Parker Posey, which is really fun. They have James Marsden, which is also very fun. Mm-hmm. Inherently, whenever he immediately returns, and it's like, oh yeah, Lois Lane just kind of hates Superman now. That was like a, huh? And again, and that's exactly how he reacted too. But it's like a,
yeah.
I don't know. I fear you won't convince me that Superman wouldn't have told Lois where he was going. Mm-hmm. And then they got me with the gag that it's his kid at the towards the end. I was like, love that.
Yeah.
Parker Posey, I think, is a really fun addition.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like the third act with like the island being made. Mm-hmm. I thought that's really cool. Everything else in it. Mm-hmm. Then there's also the iconic scene where he like gets shot in the eye and it just bounces off. I love that shot.
Yeah.
Everything else feels a little, I don't know,
basic.
A little basic.
Mm-hmm. And I could totally see that. I think that's very
and some of the special effects, it feels like if they made it like 2 years later in 2008, it would have been where they wanted it to be. But everything else felt like, especially compared to how great like the first Superman movie was. With, like, and that's back in the day. Mm-hmm. And they still had some amazing ways of like making his powers work. Yeah. It feels like that unfortunately still worked better than a handful of the big moments in Superman Returns for me. Yeah. But it's still a good movie. Mm-hmm. It's a very solid movie for me.
I totally agree. I put that in my number 3. I don't know. I think maybe it is just a circumstance thing where because I followed up Superman 4 with Superman Returns, maybe I think better of it than if I watched it like more as a standalone. But I liked the casting. I think Lois is forgettable for me. Like I can't even picture what she looked like in that movie. But I guess, at least she doesn't stand out in a bad way.
Oh, there's also a part in that movie where she's on a plane that's being launched into space on a rocket.
Yeah.
And she's out of her seat and being launched around the thing.
Yeah.
And she's not dead. That's... I thought that was funny.
She's just too good. But I like her son. I like that whole storyline.
He throws the piano at the guy.
Yeah, I mean, that was iconic. So there you go. Yeah.
My number 3 is Man of Steel. I actually really like it. I don't know.
I like a lot of most of Zack Snyder's stuff. And I think with where he started with this universe, and obviously I wasn't there when it first came out, but I don't know. I was really on board with what he was cooking. I really liked the idea of focusing on him more as an alien coming from its own separate civilization. This is where that really kind of kicked in for me. And I really liked the very unique flavor of what Krypton looked like. I liked how important Krypton was to the rest of the story. And ultimately, between the two things, he chooses Earth because that's his home.
Yeah.
I really liked the more. I feel like the Zod in Superman 2 is almost like a vague idea of what Zod is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then Man of Steel goes into the specifics of what that character is. I agree that I don't think Amy Adams plays a good Lois. Unfortunately, I fear I just love Amy Adams, so I'm always going to enjoy watching her on my screen.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know.
And then I also love the scene of him learning how to fly for the first time. Like, oh my gosh, I remember being dumbstruck when I watched that for the first time, and I don't know, it really works for me. I love that scene of Jonathan Kent being like, I'm gonna choose your you having a normal life over my life, and understand. I don't know. That his sacrifice really works for me. Henry Cavill, I think, is really great in that first movie. I love the way he just passively and almost pettily uses his powers.
I will say I think it's funny in Man of Steel when he's supposed to be a teenager, but he's so buff, and I'm like, okay, let's not. It's giving sometimes the Summer I Turned Pretty, they do have younger actors and they use them, but sometimes they need to use them and they don't, and they just slap on glasses and braces, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm gonna fill in my 2 and 1.
Me too.
Okay.
My 2 and 1, because I love both of these movies, but I put in number 2 Superman the movie, the first one ever to come out, and then this one is my number 1, 2025. Very close for me. I love and adore both movies. Don't get me wrong. I think they're so great. And I think it's such a testament that how great the original Superman movie was, especially for its time. Like you said, yes, the visuals are of its time, but it still works really well. And it almost isn't of its time. It's better. I don't know.
It's definitely ahead of its time, and it ages really well. Is what's really surprising about it all.
Yeah, you could definitely tell it's not a movie made nowadays, but it's not it doesn't bring the movie down for me. It just really works for me. I love it. I love this new movie so much. I think it's also perfectly of its time.
That's a really good point that they're both very of their time.
Yeah, but in just great ways. So props to them. They made some great Superman movies. So there you go. Yeah.
I'm flipped actually. I'm Superman 2025 and then the Superman movie. I will say these both have the same exact score for me. They're 9.5, both of them for me. I just have nitpicks on both, but overall they're very impressive and really, really well made movies.
Yeah. agree.
So super impressive to both. Really impressive that Superman the movie was the movie it was all the way back then.
Yeah.
And then it's really impressive that James Gunn was able to capture a lot of that original magic and have that in a very modern story and setting.
Yeah.
So, super love both of those films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, Superman, where will we go next?
I don't know. But that's all that I have, I think.
Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. That was a lot.
We're at 2.5 hours.
I
This is
believe it.
really long. This is longer than the movie was. So there you go. Sorry, guys.
All right, I don't have anything else prepared, so I think that'll go ahead and end it. We super loved this movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you still aren't convinced, let's try one more time. See this movie. This movie
Yeah.
is super fun.
Yeah.
There's so much heart, and there's so many real messages that need to be seen and said.
Yeah.
So,
We haven't actually talked about ratings or box office.
ratings
But
at box office.
maybe we should do that another time.
Rating. It's very well received. I think that I was
Oh my
surprised
gosh, I
that the
can't
cinema
believe.
score was an A minus. I was expecting
Yeah.
at least an A. And then it looks like numbers wise, it is already almost at the century mark,
Yeah.
and that I
Which
think is just within
Awesome.
2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go ahead and get our projections down. Where do you think
Oh my gosh.
Superman ends at the end of its box office run?
You know, I really have no idea what Fantastic Four is going to do for or against this movie. I have no idea what's going to
Could not
happen.
tell
How
you.
it... No, I really couldn't. Because it really, honestly, it just depends. It honestly doesn't even depend on how good Fantastic Four is. Because Thunderbolts was really good too and had great word of mouth. And yet nobody actually went to go see it.
Not
So...
enough at least, but-
Oh my gosh, I'm just terrified for Fantastic Four because I fear it's going to be amazing and get the Thunderbolts treatment.
I also feel like whenever Fantastic Four
So
releases, I
scared.
want to do a double feature.
Okay.
I think this will be
Yeah.
a really great double feature.
Yeah. I don't know. Because people are saying like this is the second one of the like top 3 biggest openings for a 2025 movie, and it's not even a holiday weekend.
Indeed.
Unlike some of the others. So, unlike Jurassic World, unlike Lilo and Stitch. So, it's like, that's really good. The word of mouth is going to be really good. The rewatchability is really
and the
good.
budget on this one was $225 million.
Okay. I don't know. I know people were saying at first like 600 to 700, maybe 700 to 800. I'm leaning more towards like an 850 million.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna hit $1 billion, even though it is like opening like those movies that are getting close to $1 billion. But even Lilo and Stitch, if it hits $1 billion, it's gonna barely hit $1 billion. So I don't think it's gonna do that. I don't even think it's gonna hit a 9. I would love it if I was proven wrong on that, and maybe I'm still shooting too high. I don't know, because again, no idea what Fantastic Four is gonna do.
So you're locking in a...
But I think I'm gonna lock in 850 million. What about you?
I'm going to go a scooch lower.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go 790.
Okay.
I think it's either going to be high 70s or low 700s or low 800s.
Okay.
I think that's where it goes, and ultimately that's very profitable.
Yeah.
So break even point would be
Absolutely.
around just over the 550 million.
Okay.
So, and I think that's very doable, especially
Yeah.
at this rate. So,
Absolutely.
I think that would be great. I hope I'm even. I hope you're right. I hope you're lowballing it.
Yeah, me too. So I would love for it to get a 9 in front of it. I just, I don't know. I gotta go with my gut. And we'll see if by the end of the summer I overestimated all of these movies. Then you're about to see like pessimistic Alicia.
No,
for the
I'm
next
so
summer months,
interested to
we'll
see
see.
how our draft goes, because this is
Yeah.
going to be a very big one for you.
Yeah.
And then you only have one left next week
Smurfs.
Yay! And
And then
it's
you're
I
gonna
don't
be-
even think it's
you're gonna
coming
be
to
done.
our place, so
Oh god.
which is wild. Oh my gosh. Anyways, we'll
Alrighty,
see.
that is everything we have for you
Yeah.
guys today. Let us know, what did you think of the Superman movie of 2025?
Yeah.
And what are you most excited for next in this
The
new
DC
DC
universe.
universe?
Mhm.
Would be very interested to hear what you think below.
Mhm.
But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm your host, Luke.
Now I'm your other host, Alicia.
And thank you guys so much for watching Not So Straight Nerds.
Bye.